All right. We're live.
Live.
Yeah. Oh, you're not in the camera.
Why it's so dark? Yeah.
I do. It's because the lights are turned off.
Which lights are missing?
Front lights. We'll get to them.
Present.
All
Tavo's
right.
present.
Tavo voted present. Welcome to the stream. Tavo, you are first. And you will be entitled to all the rights and privileges therein of a firstiness. This says. It is Thursday night here in the shop. I am Kim of Kim Fixes Things. You can find my YouTube channel elsewhere. And I am here with Bato Campo, who is the namesake of the channel that you have found. We are here to entertain you. Here you are now. Entertain us. We are continuing to develop the computer system and AV. I am the AV equipment team here, and we are continuing to develop things. I got some packages today of some things to make things better, hopefully, higher quality. We did bring the studio camera out here because it has proven to be superior to the camera we tried to use last night, which was green and fuzzy and not so good. So we're doing more stuff. The lighting is way off, so
Yeah,
we're gonna try and get that fixed
We're
here.
gonna try to do that during the live. We're gonna
Yeah.
try to get some light on us, because I feel like I'm in the dark and the whole shop's lit up.
And since it seems like not a lot of people have entered the stream, come into the stream yet, we are going to do some things. So if you are watching later, like tomorrow or late tonight or whenever it is, you might jump ahead 15 minutes or something like that.
There's Tim.
Yeah, live from Clarksville.
It's Friday lunchtime,
Thursday
man.
night. Yeah. And welcome to the stream, Tim. How did you work on your truck anymore? Tim is putting a motor in his truck. How is that going? I did a lot of internet wrenching in the last day here, trying to discover how to get through some of the monstrosities that I have set myself up to figure out, but not so much. I don't know what I'm talking about now. I was looking for, so I have a 360 Magnum Dodge engine, and the transmission that mates to it properly from the factory, I have it, and it's a good transmission, but it's a 4-wheel drive transmission, and the transfer case is busted in half, so it's junk. So I have the transmission, but it's got the wrong output shaft. So I was looking at how to do this. Do I get a whole other transmission? I have a 727 transmission, which, it doesn't have overdrive, but it would be fine for the 360. But the torque converter needs to be weighted because the 360 is externally balanced. And a Magnum external balance is different than an LA series external balance. And so I'm reading a lot, and I might need a different flex plate. So I'm trying to figure out what I would need to actually make that work so that I can slowly collect the parts. My precious. My precious. My precious. That's a Gollum thing from Lord of the Rings. Anyways, trying to work that out. Like I said, I was investigating the camera that I bought, the A57, the Alpha 57 series Sony camera that I got. When I was looking at, can I use it to live stream and can I get clean HDMI out? There was all kinds of tutorials and stuff like that, right? Last night I struggled with it. So I looked again today. And basically, the information I found today was like, no, you cannot make clean HDMI out. And all that propaganda that says you can is just a scam. And I was like, are you freaking for real? I got scammed by Sony. I thought it was because I was using Canon. And I was like, Canon's just stinks. But here, Sony just has a bunch of garbage programs. But this is an old camera. It's like a 10-year-old camera. So they're lying to me about the specifications of a camera that they're no longer responsible for. So it's aftermarket sellers, people who in the secondary market Just crazy. My new pressure washer arrived yesterday. Looking forward to another 25 years of service from this one. That's awesome. Did you get another electric one, Tavo? Bruce is here. Bruce Culchin.
You're missing people. Yeah.
Welcome to the stream. I already said hello to Tim. Robert Owen. Hey, welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here. Sorry about the really poor lighting that we are experiencing. We're moving our setup around and changing things so quickly.
Last night I watched it afterwards, watched part of it afterwards, and I was surprised how poor the video was last night. And so we've made some changes, tried to improve the video, but we got to move some lights around, and Kim's messing with that right now.
Yeah, that's the job. And then as far as actual automotive stuff, last night we discovered that the fuse block in the Dart is garbage, and it needs some type of repair or replacement, some type of rectification of what it's doing right now, because it is not good. Not good at all.
I think that needs to go up higher, Kim.
Well,
for some reason that light just isn't getting to me. I am in a world of dark up here. I don't know why. That kind of thing seemed to work in the past, but it isn't working now. Kim will be with the chat here in a minute.
I'm sorry.
She's
Del Campo knows how chat works.
yeah, but he's asking questions. It's Robert talking about his D150 slant, and I think you're in the middle of that, talking to him. I don't know why that light isn't. I see all this light in front of me, and it's not getting to me. I don't know what the problem is.
It's not easy. They make it look easy on TV.
I'm just a dark spot, dark hole in the whole thing. Don't know why.
Black old sun, won't you come wash away?
You know what that does? Puts a bunch of light in my eyes, but I don't see it on my face.
Yeah.
Why am I so dark?
Well,
I mean, when there's that much light blinding me in my face, I don't understand why my face isn't lit up.
because we've got a lot of light behind us. So, okay, who's asking me what? Robert Owen did a ton of research on my D150 Slant 6, and putting the 70 set head on the 82 block with hydraulic lifters and pushrod and rocker arm, it works. Just needs a new valve cover now. Okay, that's great. It didn't come, the head didn't come with a valve cover. That's fantastic. I'm really glad to hear that you have a way to make this thing
Dr. Go says I'm light without light.
Okay,
Brilliant without light. You need me to move forward.
Just
Let's
a
see.
tiny bit.
The thing won't roll. It's
Okay,
got like a wheel chock under the seat. It won't
I know,
move.
that's because you sit down without doing any other things first.
Well, there must be like a little piece of gravel or something
I know.
that's stopping everything.
I'll fix it for you. You know what I need to do?
Yeah, perhaps the camera's adjusting the ceiling light. All the light behind us is turn stuff off.
I got to.
Okay. Yeah,
It's too bright.
it's very bright and it's not doing
If
us
I
any
move
good.
it around with it on, I'll blind us.
Okay, so
And
okay, so that cord goes over here.
yeah,
It's gonna be wound around other cords over here.
eventually.
Man,
Eventually.
need wireless electricity.
Wireless electricity. That's the newest thing. Sony is going to promise me in their next version of camera.
That's tangled. Tornado's tangled. Yeah, I don't know what you just unplugged there.
That's this thing. It's in the way of all the cords. I can't have everything all tied in.
Barrow's is here.
Barrow's Garage. Welcome
Barrow's
to the
here.
stream.
And all is here. We're in the process of trying to make the light better. And we've done some moving and camera changing and so forth. And last night the video was terrible, and I didn't even know it till after I went back and looked at it. And I was like, it's embarrassing to even look at it. So,
I mean,
Hey,
don't be
camera
embarrassed. There's a process happening here. You're learning. It's a learning process.
John Hart's here. all the noise and ruckus is Kim trying to make
Kim
lights
making
work.
this. Yep.
Trying to make lights work.
Hey, I make things happen. It seems like chaos, but then suddenly,
Dean Stevenson's
I need
here.
you to scooch.
Oh, you're taking my bag away.
I need you
Scooch,
to
scooch
in
where?
this direction a little bit.
Okay.
Cannot do this with you on top. Okay. That's good.
I moved those out of the way. Now they're in the way.
It's okay.
See here. Robert, be sure you have auto lighting correction turned off on your camera. Kim's like a super engineer here. What it is, I think we have so much light behind us in the shop that we don't want to turn off. And we did some moving around over here, so she's trying to set lights back up, and they were not very done. It's just like wherever they ended up, she's trying to make them in a better place. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, that looks to me like it'll work. It's on the right side. But
that's what we're trying to do.
Oh, now we're...
Sorry, cameras.
And here's... Hold
on
to
that stuff.
So many cords tangled. You know what happens.
It's
just
everything.
Rip stuff off the tables.
It's a mess. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, how's the camera look? Okay, you're in the center. That's...
Well, but now I can move over to here where I was.
And I can't just aim the light away from us because then it'll be...
Well, that light you attach to that post, that might do a lot.
Well...
But it's not on yet.
We're gonna see.
Okay, so I'm trying to get back to the chat here.
Okay.
The wife, this is Tim, the wife went to the mountains for the weekend. Scrapbooking with her friends. So I'm alone with the dogs. It's lazy and just made an omelet for dinner. Tomorrow it's brats and corn on the cob. Oh man, does that sound good? We do that sometimes.
Did we have dinner tonight? I think we didn't.
No, I missed. I didn't eat all day. Didn't eat anything.
Do you want a cheese stick?
I don't know. Right now I got a cough drop in my mouth.
That doesn't sound like a mix.
That doesn't sound like a good dinner, does it?
Not so much.
Okay, let's see here. Robert Owen says, better be beer brats. Yeah, we have those sometimes. We had them too much and I got kind of burned out on them. I don't know, I do that. I'll find something I really like and just have it again and again and again and again, and then pretty soon I'm like, I don't want this anymore. Off the light behind you can make cameras that have auto aperture. Yeah, it's like Kim knows how to engineer all this.
Yeah, it's true. I didn't think of that. Auto
lighting on streams, it's an absolute pain.
Well, let's see what happens when I turn on these.
Yeah, those lights are not on yet.
So bright.
Man, why isn't it doing? It's because the lights on the ceiling are so bright. Our work lights are...
I mean, it's a little better. It's a little better. The hard part is like now it's getting up on that screen.
Yeah. It makes a big bright spot on the screen. And it's still not on my face worth of shit. Maybe turn off one of the overhead lights, like the
back one.
The one that's way back behind us, which is the actually.
That's gonna make it dark because that's the light over your head.
Oh, that one.
What's that look like?
That helps, but it makes it so we won't be able to do much in the shop.
Yeah, right. It was sitting dark. Live stream.
So, but that is crazy bright because it's reflecting off the corner there. But just, I mean, I can live with it, but it's kind of like
we'll have to...
kind of like somebody coming at you with their high beams on.
Yeah, I can't live with that. We have to fix it. Okay. Well, no, I cannot do the whole thing with the lights out in here. We gotta work.
Gotta figure it out.
Yep. We can't work with the light in the dark. We gotta do something.
It's okay if it's menthol. I think that's what these things are, is menthol. Yeah, my bag's buried in cords already.
You might need shrouds.
I get these things, and they are sugar-free, honey lemon cough drops, menthol. You're right.
It's a little dark.
Yes,
All right.
menthol.
You be kind to chat while I try and work out some shielding. This could potentially shield.
Mirrors on the ceiling. That almost does it. Oh yeah, if you put it across the table there. What's that block there on the table? Yeah, you can just set it on the table down at the bottom, and I think that'll be okay where it is, I guess. I don't know. Like, just set it on the table. Like it's sitting on the table. Like, that'll work.
That works?
We're not communicating well, but okay, that works.
I understand what you're saying. You want it like this?
Oh, that works perfectly.
That
yeah.
does it better. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Cozy ambience there. Heated mirrors on the ceiling. Used to get loads of corn from Florida. Took them up to Cleveland. Came through Nashville, going north. Oh yeah, Tim was driving truck a lot. Wired my garage ceiling for strip lights 26 years ago. Still haven't invested in the darn lights. The money always goes somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, there is just no substitute for good lighting in a shop. I think a lot of the problems we had in the old shops is the mechanics couldn't see. They were over there in a dark shop, old wood shop, you know. None of the structure's ever painted, so then the wood turns real dark over the years. And then you got these drop lights that had incandescent lights that screw in them. You're trying to work with that, burning yourself on them, and they drop and the lights break, and you know, it just was tough to work in those conditions. And the new shops, almost all of them have, you know, what do they call them, like clear panels on the ceiling. Sunlight comes through. And then at night, they've got good LED lights. The shop lighting is much better than it used to be. I don't know why. See, that is extremely bright. Isn't doing anything for me. I don't know why. It sure looks bright until I look at the Kim, because I'm reading it says Kim, so I said Kim. Until I look at the monitor, and then it looks like crap. Did Kim get her lightsaber working? Oh, the lightsaber, we took it apart. I think we gave up on it.
We gave up on it.
We're gonna make something else out of it. Oh, now we're really moving stuff around.
For what it costs, we're just gonna buy a replacement one.
Well, and we were able to liberate the LEDs out of it, so we'll probably use them for something. Strip lights, the right ambience. You gotta go crash out in the AC a bit. Back later.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
That's all.
We turn the AC on and it's not.
Of course, your flashlight. Flashlights when you need them. Oh, I have flashlights. That's just the wrong thing.
This ain't working.
Ooh, that's gonna.
This ain't working. I'm breaking everything.
Gonna,
Damn it. It's garbage.
that's not gonna work.
Forget that. Yeah.
Not gonna work. If we had light on,
headlights on, yeah.
I think if we had light on that silver, whatever that insulation silver is,
Yeah.
that might actually
Help.
But it has to be low. It has to be like down there, which is going to be right in my face, and that's not going to be nice.
Yeah, I know. I'm working.
Tim says turn on the Dart's headlights.
Yeah.
Man. Well, we scrambled up here kind of late again. We usually get here like an hour or 45 minutes ahead, something like that. But Kim was at a meeting, and I wasn't ready, and so we came charging up here like at 5 minutes too, and turn it on. Where's your interrogation lamp? Hey, that's what I need. Where's that bag? I got that interrogation lamp.
Yeah, we do need the interrogation lamp.
It's filthy and it needs to be cleaned, but yeah, it's one of those lights, yeah.
Got a sheet, an old bed sheet.
A bed sheet.
Yeah.
Oh, to
Yeah.
reflect or to
Just yeah.
to
Soften and reflect.
refract the light.
Yeah, soften. Black.
Well, that's kind of what you did in the studio at the house. Is
We did. We used the
you
light.
refracted a lot of the light with things like cloth. It's amazing. Landon Custom Classics. Good evening. How you doing? Hola, amigos. I bought this Tava. When I bought my house, there was a skylight in the workshop roof, so I put the workbench directly under it. Big mistake. Come summer. Yeah, because it's going to get warm. You need AC in the shop. We did that, and it's not even a big AC unit, and it works quite well. It
I
just
mean, it's a little bit.
I don't know how
behind,
humid. I don't know how humid it is there, but here humidity's a big deal. Unlike Arizona, I was so used to that. So the humidity here, you just run the air conditioner for 15, 20 minutes and sucks the humidity right out of the shop, and that's temperature doesn't go down that much, but it sure is more comfortable. Oh, that's my drill box. There aren't any more drills in it, are there?
No, it's been empty for a little while.
It's empty.
We got knocked down a couple times, and then
Got knocked down, then the drills all went
Remember, we
somewhere.
sorted them out. Made nice,
Maybe, yeah.
Put them away. Things out real good. Everything is perfect now.
Bruce says, Dean, I may be polite, but I'm not so quiet normally. Hate typing on the phone. Yeah, me too. Well, Dean says that's why he uses emojis. Dean Stevenson says, hola, with an upside down question mark.
Yes, hello. Can they hear us? Is that what is he
I
asking?
hope so. No, yeah, I mean, I think he's saying hola to Landon Custom Classics, who said hola, amigos.
Okay.
You can see the drill bot, like Nightbot. What's Nightbot, Kim?
Nightbot is a automatic chat
Oh,
thing.
shows what I know. Landon Custom Classics. I got my 429 intake clean and painted today.
Nice.
Isn't that nice when you do that? And then everything looks new.
We have been trying, but
Oh, you know what, Kim? As soon as you got out of the way, I do have more light on my face, but
yeah.
not.
It's getting better.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's better. I'm gonna say hola to the nefarious person of their underwelt. Underwelt? Underwelt. Does that help? When you're, I don't know, it helps, but I don't know what's going on. I think when you sit down, we'll see where because when you move, it changes.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I need you to scooch this away. Get back in center frame here. Thank you.
Oh, you gotta mess with that light.
I think this light is too low
So
to
do
be
I.
of service as we need it. And I know it's
Oh,
gonna
that's
get
good.
blocked,
That's
but
terrible.
We're gonna fix it.
Okay, you're running out of cord over here.
It's all right. I can pull more cord.
Get that question mark. Go upside down. Dr. Go says 429. I bought is a hot chick who pretends to like me on Landon's Lives. Landon Custom Classics. Hate having that fancy car on an old nasty engine. Yeah, isn't that? That's why I say it always looks better when everything gets clean. I got I rebuilt my 289 years ago, and I got it all done. and everything was in the car, and I really wanted to drive it. The only thing that was missing was the water pump, and I had an old water pump. I stuck it on there, and it was aluminum, and it was all cruddy, nasty looking. And I stuck it on there anyway and drove the car. But every time I opened the hood, everything was clean and new, detailed, everything nice. Is that crusty old water pump. I didn't like that a whole lot. Dean just wants free kiwis. You see, it's just like the bling on Kim's in the way. I just have to wait. What are you doing? You're screwing. No, you're unscrewing.
Taking the screw out. It's causing this monitor to be set wrong. Go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, no, I can't read because you're in the way. Walked in the way of the monitor. Now you're moving the monitor somehow. Oh, I see. Tipping it that way, that helps a lot.
Yeah,
It's just like the bling on the Compton guy's chest. If I feed her kiwi, she might get the, we would call that the runs. Kiwis do that to you? Kiwis here are kind of expensive.
Kiwi? Hey, nah, well, I don't know. Sometimes you can get them at Walmart. Good price.
We haven't had I don't know if I can eat kiwis.
They're probably
They're
just
probably full of sugar, huh?
Yeah. Oh, I need to stand on my head to put the screw in, and it's not working.
Boston Kid, 1972. Like the short on the stubby screwdrivers. Well, good, thank you. That wasn't my best video. I didn't get a lot of views on that one. You know, sometimes I'll do a short and I'll have like 13,000 views, and another one I'll have like 600 views, and that was one of the lower ones. But those are really useful screwdrivers, and I didn't have anything like that for many years, and I was working on some of the electronic boxes at work, and of course they don't got to buy any extra tools. So I looked and I found those and got them, and man, that was a perfect tool. And now, and of course, then I use them on a lot of stuff. I should have had those a long time ago. My doghouse is 43 years of oil, dust, crustiness, little paint left on valve covers. Oh, that kind of doghouse, like in a van. I don't know what they call that in other English-speaking countries. It's the cover on the over the engine in a van that's internal in the van. Everybody here calls that a doghouse, but there's no dogs in there.
Is that about right?
Oh, that's good. But of course, there's no light on yet.
Well, we'll get to that. First, I gotta get this.
Tavo says, I'm grateful when I get 100 views. You know what, Tavo? If you start doing shorts, like just like some 30-second shorts every day, you'll be surprised how many views you get. But it won't transfer over to the regular videos. It will a little bit, because you'll start getting more
recommended.
You get more subs, and eventually I think that transfers over. But the best one we've done recently was the last one we did, which was the one Kim did on the or we did it together on the mower deck. Kim, that really makes my face purple, but that's okay.
That's okay. We'll once we get all the new lighting
Look
put
at
in,
all the stuff she's pulling out of there.
once the lighting's in, we'll be able to compensate.
There's
Help
stuff.
compensate.
You're pulling out stuff I haven't seen in years.
Oh yeah. Well, there's that.
Yeah, that is quite bright down there.
I know. I gotta get that. I gotta move it up. But first, I have to make sure I'm blocking so you don't get real bad glare off the monitor. So
I think if you point it toward that wall, I think it might work okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not keeping up with the chat, or maybe I am. I'm not sure.
Try.
Compton, Gateway Cities region of Southern Los Angeles County, and Wing Capital. You know, Compton, there's an airport there that's become quite popular, and I think they've got a lot of business moving in there. It wasn't always the best area. When I see the businesses that are there, I think things have changed. Here's when I get 100 views. Okay, I've got some of my dad's angle screwdrivers. They're like an Allen wrench, but a Phillips head. Oh yeah, I've got some of those angle screwdrivers, and occasionally I'll use them. The thing I don't like about it is hard to get good pressure on the screw. But yeah, sometimes that's all you can do. I wish anything I design that you have limited access on the inside like that. I'll put an Allen or a Torx, not a Phillips or or she had a flat blade screw, because then you have to go 180 degrees at a time. Oh, that's a piece of that stuff.
Yeah, this is.
Ooh, that's pieces we're gonna use when we build the car.
We
A car out of fiberglass or aluminum or whatever we do.
maybe we could still do that. I don't know, but right now I need it.
Does he have a doghouse? It's a scientific question, Buff. I need to send you a smaller. I need to send you smaller and ratchet one. I did not have those back with my yellow toolbox.
Sorry for the hammering.
She's hammering.
Oh.
She was hammering.
Okay, maybe.
I don't know if that cuts the mic out. I didn't look to see.
It might for a second. Sorry,
Yeah,
everyone. Oh, I'm stepping on the microphone.
Okay,
Sorry,
let's see what happens with the mic. That's a quiet hammer. I think they're hearing it.
Good. It's quiet. Put this up here.
Well, now
Get
we
it right
almost
first.
have the lighting sorted. I have to head back to work. Oh man.
Sorry.
Oh, well, thanks for coming in. Yeah, it's already that time there. At least it's Friday. She's hammered. Are you hammered? No. Let's see if I move back to where I was. I don't know. Wait, there's all this light. I'm in the dark spot. Ooh. Bucket.
Like a lampshade.
Ooh. Yeah, don't move it anymore. Let's see what that does to me. I don't know. It's a lot of light, but oh, look at that when you moved. Oh, I know what happened. You got up in front of the ceiling light, and that's what brightened it up.
Okay, well, that's the other thing we could do.
See that when you get up in front of the ceiling light? Look at that. Yeah, it's
Anyway, compared to how it was when we started,
it's better.
it's really improving.
Oh man.
Are you able to see everything that's happening here on the studio screen? Like, are you able to read okay, or
Me? Oh, I'm fine. It got bright when she passed you with the white bucket. You know why? She's blocking one of the fluorescent lights up above, or LED lights up above. They used to be fluorescent lights. Ceiling cat.
Does that help?
I don't know. Do it again. Yes, that helps. What are you gonna do? Hang that there?
Help me with a good time. It's not.
Take it down again. Let's see how we are. That does make a difference, although we're way better, I think, than we were.
All right. I'm gonna try that because it's not actually. It's actually
Dr. Go says it's not helping.
It's low-hanging fruit.
Low-hanging fruit. Oh, so I'll walk along and clobber my head on it.
No. I mean, it's an easy thing.
Oh, it's an easy thing.
Yeah, it won't be hard. Couple of screws.
Yeah, I think that light right behind my head, that ceiling light right behind my head, is telling the camera to close the lens,
Would not be surprised.
and then here we go.
See,
Carry
you
over.
guys, a lot of the YouTubers you guys watch, they've already done this, but when you weren't looking, and us, because we are that kind, we're just that nice. We're showing you how it's done.
It's part of the stream.
I
can tell everybody it's part of the stream, but really I know it's because we're late.
We're late. way.
Not as much as the white bucket near your head. It got bright for a second when in just the right position. Yeah, the white bucket is over here. I'll show it to you eventually. It's a white bucket that's got a bright light inside the white bucket now. And that actually, does that help?
In a little bit here, once I'm through what I was trying to do, I will turn one of these cameras around, like this one right here that's in the way. I'll turn it around, and then you guys will be able to see what's going on.
See, it's when you stand right there, you're blocking one of those ceiling lights.
No, when I stand right there, the lights hit me and the center of the sensor where it does the light determination. Yeah. Yep, that's what it is.
Stingcat is a chat room moderating AI entity found on Four-Eyed Pride, the Fox Body Room. Huh. Fox
Oh,
Body.
yeah. Maybe try being right in center of the camera.
I don't want to do that because then when you come and sit down, I gotta move and we're right back where we started.
Yeah. These are looking up.
Buckethead, she could play for Axl Rose. When she walked by you with it in her hands, yeah, that probably, I don't know what that did. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what happened. Turn the lighting changer off. What's a lighting changer?
I can't adjust it too much. It just won't let me.
I don't know. Could you hear that? Well, it's way better than it was when we walked in here. I mean, I was like in a dark room and the rest of the place is lit up, so it is better. Just to eat.
It's approaching
Jimmer.
workable. Well, that's what we're going for. We're aiming for good enough.
Good enough for tonight, and
And then once we have a working model, we can work on refinements.
she's trying to get studio quality in a shop that's set up to light stuff in the shop, like over the shear and the brake and under the hood of cars and things like that. Life bounced off the bucket like it was bouncing off of Kim when she stood next to you. That brightened it up. You'd be amazed at the iridescent glow you will part in the center.
You guys are saints for putting up with our garbage.
Robert says you are way lighter than you were in the beginning. KJ Kylie just came in. Hi, Kim and Buff. Boston Kid. No Sims tonight. No Sims tonight. Text your address and I will send one. I don't know what that means. Yeah, it's way better than it was. It was really bad when I first came in here. Well, you know what happened is last night the video was so bad. What is this? KKK? That's not a good thing here, Dean. That's a terrible thing here. I'm not sure I can even say what KKK is. I might not even be able to say that. I'll get strike. Oh, he meant KJK. Which is KJ Kylie. Okay, that's better. KKK is a turbocharger manufacturer? You've got to be kidding me. What country are they from? They can't be from the U.S., I wouldn't think.
Sometime this evening, not this second, but sometime this evening. This radiator needs to find a better home.
The radiator needs to find a better home. Yeah, I dragged it in from somewhere.
I know, I appreciate that, but also
I need to get the right flux, because that flux we have is meant for electrical work. It just isn't. It's just not going to do the job on a crusty piece of brass.
Okay, I want you to look in the screen and eye up where this needs to be. If I attach the blind all the way over to here, will it block most of this aura from this light?
Yes. Yes.
Right. Jumped over my head.
USA Audi production source. Really? I can't imagine a company called KKK. That's
Ow! I hurt myself a lot.
What'd you do?
Put a drill into my finger.
Well, they can hear that noise.
I'm really mad. That hurt. It's gonna leave a mark. Right.
Hey.
God dang it!
Why'd you drilled into your finger?
Oh man, did I drill in my finger? Where's my band-aids?
Let's see what it looks like.
I don't want to look at it. I gotta put a band-aid over it.
Sometimes when you drill in your finger, the thing looks like a worm comes out.
Don't talk about it.
It's the shape of the flute.
Don't talk about it.
How do I know?
I'm not looking at it for hours. It's gonna hurt for.
You have a Triple K roofing company here. Oh my God! Really?
Okay. We can't show depictions of blood or violence.
Blood or violence? That's not violence. It's an accident.
Everywhere. It's dripping everywhere. Gosh, it's gushing out of my finger.
What size drill bit was it?
It was the.
Junk Car Willie says, "Oh no."
Oh.
Let me see what it looks like. Oh yeah, that's a leaker. Now part of Borg Warner Turbo Systems. Kunli Kopp. It's a bunch of German names.
I do all this for you people.
And you know what? They
Not for me.
probably don't understand what they've done.
Okay.
Was one of the industry's leading manufacturers producing advanced turbochargers. Can't have Kim getting hurt.
Do we have a regular stapler?
A regular stapler versus an irregular stapler?
Yes.
I don't know. What kind of
The old kind that you just go by hand, it doesn't have to plug in.
Yeah, but I couldn't put my fingers on it.
Okay.
Haven't seen it in a long time.
All right.
There's a stapler around here that has it's an electric small one. It might be, well, it used to be over there. Now that whole thing.
Isn't it able to plug in the wall?
It plugs in the wall.
Okay, I'll use that one.
Why don't you use the big Chikunker one?
Because I just need little staples, not
Little.
big ones.
Little staples. Yeah, that other one is. Landon's.
I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to use tape, duct tape.
Whack. Duct
Going
tape.
to use duct tape.
Landon says super glue time.
Oh, it's a.
I think I saw that. I think it's beyond super glue.
I mean, super glue's amazing. Seek medical attention promptly if you are punctured.
I'll wash my hands and do the sutures. I used to keep a suture kit at the top of my toolbox, and
Always,
they didn't want me to have that at work.
always stop the bleeding before you black out.
Oh, yeah. Penske Corporation acquired in 1994 the majority of this company, this three names that I couldn't read if I had to, from Daimler-Benz Group, MTU. Or so the Germans would have you believe. She's putting a giant garbage bag up there as a deflector, I think. Think duct tape will hold that? Well, it might. Gorilla tape will hold anything.
Well, if I put it up with duct tape and it doesn't hold, Then I can put staples.
Staples to the duct tape, yeah. Your live shows will turn from car repair to medical emergency room procedures. First aid kit. Well, I think we have some Band-Aids around here, but usually she gets clean paper towel and tears off a piece and puts duct tape. All this for some lighting.
What do you mean for some lighting? Lighting is crucial.
Lighting is crucial. Yeah.
You've got to have the lighting worked out, or else people can't see what you're doing. Don't enjoy what's going on. They get bored, they leave. You guys are our beta testers, or
Dean says put an Allen head grub screw in it. What is a grub screw?
there you go.
That's a down under thing.
Allen
Grub.
head. All I know is an Allen head would, yeah, that'd fill the hole.
In her finger or in the holding that thing up?
In my finger.
Okay,
That
right in
is
the middle. Right in the middle. There's a spot of light. Right in the middle.
Radar TV.
Is that like
Up
bunched
top.
at the bottom? It's bunched up or something. Ah, there. You got it.
Does that help a lot?
I think it helped a lot. Does my face look light enough you can see me now? I think it is. Dean says it's already drilled and tapped. No, she didn't run a tap in her finger, just a drill.
Just drilled.
You need to tap it, and then you can put a screw in it.
Oh, it's something right over. Oh no, that's
What was all that?
nothing.
Something happened.
Admit it. Something happened or something.
The sacrifices Kim Possible makes to bring us high quality lighting and production.
That's right.
Boston Kid says you will love the new tools. Zip
You
tie
guys
will
are not worthy.
stop the bleeding. Did I
Ah, that fucking radiator got me. Such a bitch.
big spill
Remember
somewhere?
I asked you to move that radiator? It got me before I got. I didn't even give you a chance. Something.
I may have run out of cough drops. That's not good. Oh no, I see what happened. The bag spilled. The cough drop bag spilled inside this bag.
All right. I don't care how it looks. I gotta take a break.
Take a break.
Yeah. Where's the?
Look at my face right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you
way
can
better.
see me. And
Yeah, that
you
big-
couldn't even see me
The
before.
big glow up there was just way crazy. And then if we need to get through, we just push it out of the way.
So-
It's not-
So, whoever said it was right. It was the light behind us that the camera's picking up and
Well, it's a
closing in and
combination.
stuff.
It's a
Yeah, it
combination
was
of all the things every time.
Little here, little there. Somebody asked if that's a rudder that Kim just moved. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see her move it, but yes, there are some rudders.
Yeah,
in
the
there.
one that fell down and dropped me into the radiator. Yes, that's a rudder. Is it a rudder? Is rudder the right word?
Yeah, it's a gray thing? It's a fabric covered gray thing?
Yeah, you want me to pull it down? You can show them.
I can show them. Yeah, I mean, if it's not a big deal, I'll show
I
them.
mean, it's barely.
It's probably filthy.
It's barely hanging on.
Oh, what a mess. Oh, this is filthy.
I'm a rusty old boat hitch, and I'm barely hanging
God,
on.
and it's ripped. The fabric got ripped. This is not a showpiece. How did that? Well,
I don't know.
it was for a Titan tornado. It needs to be recovered now. Okay, what do I do with it now? Rudder with it.
I don't know. Show them the important parts. The pivot. Tell them what.
Well, up at the top, there's a top hinge, and there's a pin that goes through there. And down here, it's an airplane with a tail boom. And this piece goes down into the boom, and there's a thing that bolts on here that's a control horn that attaches this so it has cables going forward. So the cables move it, turns the rudder like this.
It looks like it's put together with rivets.
It's put together with an AN3 bolt. There's a bolt.
I see a bunch of rivets.
The leading edge is riveted on. Yeah, the leading edge is aluminum and then it's fabric over it. It's got aluminum ribs and aluminum trailing edge. Now that it's ripped, I could actually
Hey,
open it up and they can see the inside. See, there's aluminum ribs in there. I mean, I ripped the fabric because it's already ripped. So, and there's an aluminum spar. You can see the spar in there. Oh, yeah, fabric's already no good, so I'm pretty good at doing fabric. I don't know if I'll ever have any use for it.
they said do a show.
Do a what? Do a short on it? Oh, I start doing shorts on airplanes?
Parts, airplanes.
Airplanes. You get me doing stuff on airplanes. You'll wish you never asked. Because,
They said it's missing the trim tab.
you know, if you set the airplane up right, you don't need a trim tab, but what I've noticed on the Titans, I don't know how many of you in here are pilots. It's a pusher engine. It's a mid-engine pusher. So there's some things that affect the way the airplane flies besides the trim of the wing and the ailerons and the rudder and elevator. And that's the propeller spinning, and there's two things there that are really affect things. Are spiraling slipstream. That's the slipstream coming off the propeller, and it hits the bottom of the rudder in one place, or the vertical stabilizer, which is what the rudder attaches to. It hits it on one side and hits the bottom of it on the other side. So that affects the way it rolls. And then P factor. And what P factor is that one side of the propeller takes a bigger bite than the other side because the nose of the airplane might be up. And the more you pull the nose of the airplane up, the more you're going to feel the P factor. So like when you first take off and you raise the nose up, you can feel that airplane yaw one direction or the other because of spiraling slipstream and P factor. So now I'm probably too far in the weeds, huh?
You got, yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
so
Now you got to scooch over this way. Just
so
a
then
smidge.
I'm too far in the weeds to talk about. See, I'm just getting started. So,
They love it.
I'm just getting started. So I can't talk about airplanes on here. It's like going in airplane form and talking about torque converters. You know? Alien screw. Go short on it. It's missing the trim tab. Yeah. Oh, what I was going to say about the trim tab. If you put a trim tab on it, you can cancel some of that out. But then you got the throttle. Now you can't see the throttle hand. Where's the throttle hand? The throttle hand,
Come this way.
when you move the throttle, I could sit there with my feet off the rudder pedals and it would yaw one direction. I could mess with the throttle a little bit and I could get it straightened out. And then I add a little more power to yaw the other direction. So I could sit there and get the trim just by moving the power just ever so slightly. So if you want to be able to run with higher power settings and go faster, yeah, you might want to change the position of the trim tab. And I just used a lot of people used aluminum trim tabs, which is what I used to use, but I really don't like it because they show and it looks terrible. So I make a little trim tab out of a piece of 40 thousandths thick Lexan, you know, which is looks kind of like plexiglass, but it's much softer. And you make it out of Lexan, and two things happen there. As you speed up, the trim tab actually straightens out a little bit, kind of self-corrects, and you don't see it. I mean, when you first look over at the airplane, you really don't see it till you get up close. So I like making trim tabs out of Lexan. Here, I'm way too far in the weeds now, aren't I?
Yeah, you lost
Do a
me
wind
entirely.
tee. Do a wind tee with it and place in the yard using a bearing wheel. Dr. Go, you know what a wind tee is? A wind tee is a thing that looks like a T, and a lot of times has lights on it. It's at an airport, and then when the wind comes, it's on bearings in it. So you can look down and you can see where the wind tee is, and you got an idea where the wind is blowing. In some airports, all the airports used to have them. Now, I don't know, they might have them. They also have a thing called a tetrahedron, which is a big triangular looking thing. Does the same or similar function. Fin is useless without an oxygen tank. This fin is useless without an oxygen tank.
That might be something from a movie. Sounds like a a line from the airplane movie, but I could be completely off base on that.
So I don't know what I'll ever use that rudder for. Those airplanes are no longer manufactured. So, I mean, they had a good run. They went from 91 until this year. So it's that 33 years. I think there's probably still some kits around that haven't been built. There was a kit that I wanted in San Diego, and I don't think the guy ever built it. He was an older guy back in the 90s, so I don't know if he's even around anymore, but I don't think he built it. But he wanted the landing gear all beefed up on it, so I did a landing gear truss for it out of thicker material and doubled some stuff up, and I don't know why he wanted that, but I mean, I guess you can crash it in a lot harder.
Wow, everyone got super quiet.
Everybody got quiet because I'm talking about stuff nobody even cares about. P factor, airplane porn. Yeah. I do know what wind T is. Usually have lights on top and use an electrical slip ring to feed power. Oh yeah, I was saying, how do they get power? Okay, yeah, there's got to be a slip ring in there. Not required. So most airports just build or keep up their old ones. Yeah, you know, it's the old uncontrolled airports that have a few airplanes in and out of them, those ones that have a wind T. Kim, do they have good pierogies in Tennessee?
No,
Are you a pierogi person?
I love pierogies. Yeah.
Really? There was a place. I've rudder on the.
That's
trunk
right. That's
of the
for
dime.
that's for cornering. Would
Put
that
two of them.
work?
Put two of them on there, and then have a. Oh, they did it on the wing cars. They had these big fixed.
No,
What?
but I mean, would that work for steering? If you put that on a car,
I suppose if you're going fast enough.
you'd have to be going really fast.
What was I saying about? Oh, pierogies. In Arizona, in Yuma, there was a place I used to go to. It was a Thai restaurant. It was a Thai woman, and her husband was Polish, and they had Thai food and pierogies. That was great. They're gone. It's still a Thai restaurant, but they sold it out to people that don't do pierogies.
Is it a Shaliant or Valark? Val shark? Ant shark?
James, that's where the toilet seat used to go on the 62s. Oh yeah, the toilet seat. That's that phony spare tire stamped into the trunk. Roadrunners have a lot of aero. Yeah, those big the wing cars, the Superbirds, I think the verticals were much wider. I think the cord was much bigger on them than the Chargers. I always thought they were the same until years later, and I started noticing that the verticals and the wings are different on the Charger and the Daytona Charger and the Superbird. And I think they have something that goes down below the fender inside, because if you just mounted that to the fender, I don't think it'd be enough. Does anybody know? Those wing cars have structure down inside. Great Gold Valiant, Great White Shark. My Valiant's gold? Kind of yellow. Could it be gold?
You know what I was supposed to be doing tonight? Instead of farting around with all the lights?
Oh, you're supposed to
I'm
be
supposed to be getting the electrical work in.
electric.
So, if anybody who is listening, because I think everybody who's talking, oh, Boston Kid 1972, welcome to the stream. Have they?
Oh, he's been here. He's been here for.
Oh, I didn't welcome you.
Well,
'cause I
while
was
you
busy working.
were up there on a ladder or something. He came in a
Oh.
while ago.
Sorry. I try to welcome everybody when they come in.
He was giving us suggestions on the lighting situation.
Was he?
I think so.
Do you think we're working on this one right above my head? I gotta deal with that next. There's way too much aura from that.
Aura.
are.
Oh yeah, but when we came in here, my face looked like it had a light.
It was a shadow. Yeah,
Yeah,
way
it was
too
a
much
shadow
backlighting.
light. It was just
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna do some temporary stuff tonight, like those black plastic bags. I'm probably gonna make them into white sheet or white plastic bag instead, because it will work better. But that's a future thing.
I had a friend that used to call lights. He called them dark suckers.
Right now.
He says they weren't providing light; they were sucking up the dark.
That could be it. It could be.
Boston Kid says, "No, I derailed it to airplane. Sorry." Are you a pilot, Boston Kid? Oh yeah, 'cause you saw the rudder. Kim, you said you brought some food down here.
Yeah, I brought you a food.
What'd you bring? A cheese stick, you said?
That's all I got.
That's good. That'll help. 'Cause I didn't eat all day, and then
You
know
need a cheese stick. It's
that's a
pretty
dumb
simple.
thing to do. Don't eat all day and then rush up here.
I had something, I don't remember what, but you need to eat because you have diabetes. I do not. Plus, I had 4 cups of coffee.
Thank you.
So that's probably.
Oh, I didn't have any coffee. I didn't have any caffeine. I've had a couple of cough drops. That's it. That's probably not the best food situation. So she gets these string cheese that are like, you open up like little packets. Sims in Colorado. Sims.
Hey, no more.
Oh, you worked on Sims in Colorado?
Listen, bing.
Boston Kid. Wait a minute. Are you the Boston Kid I know? Are you a Boston Kid I know? All of a sudden it makes sense. You're from Boston and you work in Colorado on Sims? Are you the guy I know that worked with me in Arizona? And you flew a tornado. Yeah, I bet you are the guy I worked with in... You're the guy I worked with.
Okay, I need your help, guidance here. Tell me when I'm over to where the aura
He
starts.
said, yeah, Boston Kid, I know him. Okay, Kim, I'm sorry. I'm figuring out I know this guy.
Where is the aura from that light? Where's it cut off?
Toward you a little bit.
Me?
Oh, no, you're good. You're good.
Here.
Yeah, I think so.
Can I go towards me more, or is it...
No, it's barely going to make it both ends.
Okay. Good.
What happened to the Corvette? My Corvette? I gave it away. There was some pilot there that came in and they quit giving everybody rental cars. And I'd been trying to sell the Corvette for a year. Couldn't sell it. And I'd marked it down. I was down to $2,000 and not getting any bites on it. And it's like, man, I got to get rid of this thing. The tags are due and the insurance is due. And I didn't have any space. So, this pilot was whining about...
Sorry for the noise. That's the end of it.
Pilot was whining about not having any money or not having any transportation on the weekend, and they get one rental car for 4 pilots, you know. Well, you know, one of the pilots would take the rental car on a trip or something, leave everybody else stranded at a hotel. So anyway, this guy's whining about it. I said, "You want a car?" I said, "I'll give you a car." So after work, I drove him over to the shop. There's a bright red Corvette sitting there. I said, "It runs. You want it?"
Noise! Okay, that's it.
I said, "It runs. It's just got a power steering leak, but other than that, it's fine." So I hooked the battery up, and first crank, it started, and he drove it around over there in my where my shop was. It's like a complex over there without going on the street. So he drove it around, and I go, "Here's the deal. I'll sign the title over to you right now." But I said, "You have to get online and get it into your name tonight and get your own insurance." And he did. And off he went with the Corvette. So that's what happened to the Corvette. After that, he decided to put an LS engine in it and some other transmission. So he's pulling the the 350 and the 700 R4 out of that thing, and he said I could have it. I can pick it up if I want. So I'll have the engine trans anyway. Yeah, I missed the Corvette because like within 2 months I had a place for it, working again, had money. It's like, oh well, Corvette's gone, sadly. But that guy lives in Phoenix, and he's flying for somebody else now. Well, on Boston Kid, you know, John at Titan. Did I talk to you about that? Man, talked to a lot of people. John got killed in an airplane accident about a month ago, and that's the end of that company. It's done. John was the company. Kim, this cheese is really good.
That's because you're hungry.
Because I'm hungry.
Not sponsored, but if cheese would like to sponsor us, we eat a lot of cheese.
Yeah, generic. What do you call those? String
Is
cheese.
it the generic kind, or is that the?
I don't know. Yeah, I think so.
I don't think it was generic. I think they didn't have the generic. But name brand stuff. That's why it's so darn good.
Yeah, it's a different. I don't know, some kind of string cheese.
That's all right. We're not string cheese promoters, so we can
Okay.
just move on.
So Boston Kid, you knew about the accident. Live in the land of cheese. I got friends that live in the land of cheese that I knew out in California, but then they moved home. They were propeller manufacturers. And then I saw them at Oshkosh one year, and they both brought me a big bag of cheese curds. They brought me cheese curds from Wisconsin. That was pretty good. Oh no, who's John? Okay, his name's John Williams. He owned a company called Titan Aircraft. I worked for him for quite a while. Did a lot of engineering for him. Designed airplanes, and ran his factory for many years. And John got killed in an airplane accident last month in July.
Wow, you could see through that bag.
So he was 75 years old, but he was in good shape, and he looked and moved around like a 50-year-old guy in good shape, and he had a current medical and everything. It's just a sad thing. He had a propeller come apart. Decided to land on a road. He had the landing made. Everything was good, and a truck came out of a driveway toward him. So he moved over to miss the truck, and the truck moved over the other way, and he caught a wing on a tree and went into the woods and flipped the airplane upside down. That was the end of it. A sad day. My best friend bought a pristine 85 C4 GPI 5.7. Yeah, mine was a C4. It was an 87. Mine was an 87. At all summer events, deep fried cheese curds are the best. Oh, I've never had deep fried cheese curds. They brought me this bag of just like all these little cheese balls. They were good. And I was at Oshkosh, so we didn't have, we'd stand there all day talking about airplanes and be from 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night and never get anything to eat. So, somebody brings me a big bag of cheese balls, cheese curds. Man, was that good. That hit the spot. There was a place fairly close where you could buy brats on some kind of buns. And I bought a couple of those a few times. But we had to walk some distance. And we really needed to be by the airplanes, by the display. So it was, unless you get somebody to hold the fort down for you in a little lull in customers, you really couldn't get away. And John would take us to, same John, he would take us to the, to a restaurant afterwards. Let us eat all we want. You know where he usually took us? Kim, what's the buffet that I always liked. Golden Corral. He'd almost always, yeah, he'd take us to Golden Corral a lot of times, unless it was real late. Then he'd take us. There was a Mexican restaurant he'd take us to. So when I lived in Wisconsin, it was. And sorry for your loss. Yeah, it's like, man, I just can't believe it. You know, I knew the guy for, I don't know, probably close to 20, oh, more than that, close to 30 years. More than 30 years. I met him in 1990 at an air show. So, yeah, I knew him for 34 years. So, that's sad. He's got
His
one disco.
son works on propellers and is really great guy.
Yeah, Boston kid. You remember Jay? You know, his son Jay's got his own company. He builds composite propellers.
His
And
service is what, Whirlwind?
yeah, I don't know what he's doing. It's yeah, he services the Whirlwind propellers.
He's cleaning up the estate, and then he's
Okay,
got
okay.
a business to run.
Okay. We're not going to go any deeper into that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Um,
I just meant to say that he's
no,
got his
it's
own
just
business.
he's in business. And let's see, where are we here? He's got 2 MBs. What's an MB? Mercedes-Benz. 1 Disco Land Rover, and now it's actually his son who's gotten the Fed. You know, it's funny, the C4s are like the least liked Corvettes. When you're trying to sell them, good luck, you know. And it used to be the C3s were like that, but now the C3s are old enough that they've gone way up in value. So I expect the C4s probably will. Olive says, when I went to Oshkosh, it seemed most of the food was in the same area. Yeah. I was a lot of times over in the ultralight area with the Titan Tornado, which wasn't really an ultralight. The ultralight area kind of became the light plane area because there were many, many airplanes over there were not ultralights, but they were single and 2-place airplanes. And the gyrocopters and light helicopters used to be, they were all over in the ultralight area. So I think there was one place to buy broads over there. It was hard to get loot to walk over there. Butters said, I don't know, by string cheese. What is that, Kim? What's he saying?
What's that?
Dean is saying something that's, words I don't understand. Johnsonville Brats has a semi-trailer that is a monster grill to cook an event so amazing, and for sure to hear of this unfortunate accident. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Johnsonville Brats, that's the ones we were buying down here. Oh, buttressed by string cheese. Sportlights. Hold on. Adjective of a building or structure. Buttress. Okay, strengthened or supported. The buttress. Okay, so we got buttress by string cheese. Oh, I see. So that's probably not very good.
Supported by string cheese.
That's probably not a real good structural member.
I mean, it's good. Nutrition.
Sport light plane classification. See, well, it was ultralights, and then everybody was building, not everybody, but almost everybody was building ultralights that were outside the ultralight class and masquerading around as ultralights. And at some point, the FAA started coming down on people, and they so a new class of aircraft came about in the early early 2000s, and it was the sport plane, which was bigger and beefier than an ultralight, much more of an airplane, required some kind of a certificate to fly it. Didn't require a medical. You had to self-certify, like with a driver's license. And there were a bunch of restrictions. You couldn't just go as fast as you want. You could only have 2 people. But anyway, the sport. Now I know what you're talking about. Sport lights. It was light sport aircraft. And so, anyway, yeah, that's kind of an outgrowth of the ultralight community. And the light sports are over there in the ultralight area, but I don't go to Oshkosh anymore. I'm so burned out on that. I'd go to Oshkosh instead of going around seeing the air show. I'd stand there and talk to customers about one airplane for 6 days or 7 days. You know, from 7 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. It wears on you. Nobody wanted to go to that air show after a while. But did you see the pics I sent from my demon seats? Yes, I did. They're sitting there ready for Tuesday night because I don't bring all those pictures up here.
We're still getting the garage studio.
I'm not going to sit here and do my email on this. That's a Tuesday night thing in our home studio. We'll sit there and we've got a green screen and I can bring up anything behind us. Kim pull up pictures of cars. I can put up pictures of my cars. Any pictures that people email me. Although tonight, the last few nights I've used some of those pictures for our thumbnail. I used Dallas Brown's his Buick for the thumbnail tonight. Sitting there with the putting a rear end under it. So yes, Tim, I'll get to him. Somebody else sent me pictures too.
Did that?
Trying to remember who it was.
What kind of pictures?
Like car pictures. No, not that kind of pictures.
I knew that. I was asking for more specific clarification. Nothing.
Oh, you sent them from your phone. You know what I like is the nice big high definition pictures, because then I can use them for thumbnails. If they come in their little pictures, you try to use it for a thumbnail and they just look terrible. But if you could drive to nearby Fond du Lac and visit Mercury Marine, if tired of planes. You know what? I've got cousins that live in Fond du Lac. When I was a little kid, I used to visit Fond du Lac, see my aunt and uncle. They're both passed away. Of course, the kids are now in their late 60s or early 70s. Yeah, they're my age. But I am my cousin.
Can you use a paper towel and wipe that cord off a little bit? I'll give you some soap.
A woman, Jan.
All the soap is behind it here.
Yeah, I have talked to her a little bit lately, but I mean, it's like we knew each other as kids and teenagers, and then as years go by, you get families and you get work, and both of us did, and we kind of lost track of each other for many years. And we've gotten in touch again, and we talk sometimes. But she's doing all right. She's got the old house that her parents had, and that's a house I used to go to in the 50s when I was a kid, and she has really fixed that place up, and so I do see her sometimes. And geez, I should go to Fond du Lac sometime. Sent one of the Oscar Mayer. Oh yeah, I saw the Oscar Mayer. That's a race car. They had another one that was an older one, but it looked very similar to that. Well, it had several iterations of that Oscar Mayer thing. But they used to drive it around to grocery stores and park, and kids would come out and, what's his name? Little Oscar? Would sign autographs. Yeah, I didn't know they raced that thing. When I was a kid, I saw one of those in town where I lived. They were at a Safeway store, and it's like, wow, what's that thing? And I went over there, and there's a big old hot dog driving down the street. So the hot dog looks the same, but the car looks a little different. The car's got composite headlights now. Probably a completely different car. 'Of How many other people have seen the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile? I think that's what they call it, the Wienermobile.
Can you say Wienermobile on YouTube?
Can you say Wienermobile without getting canceled? Has anybody seen that thing other than us?
I think that the real question is anybody not seen the Wienermobile, because
Okay.
I think that is a staple of
Oh, you've seen it too, Kim?
custom. Oh yeah, it's good. You can't miss the thing.
Well, I didn't know they had that in Pittsburgh. I saw it in California.
Oh, I haven't seen it in person that I can remember.
Oh,
but,
you've seen pictures.
I mean, I've seen lots of pictures.
Kim, this thing is filthy, and I mean filthy.
I know, that's why I asked you to wipe it off.
I mean, wipe it off. Just like taking a car with 50 years of rust and give me a paper towel and telling me to wipe it off.
Oh, you get at it. Get it after it.
It's like, this is more than a wipe it off.
It ain't gonna clean itself.
It needs to be wet sanded for a couple
Come
hours.
here. Is it good enough yet?
Well, it's not going to transfer gunk onto you, but it's
Yeah,
not
that's
very,
fine.
not very
Look,
clean.
I cleaned I cleaned the shell. This is just so it doesn't get my eyes too
I
much.
got this C1 in Arizona at Route 66. There was one when I was in Madison. You'd see around a lot. It was home base. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That makes sense. I've been in 3 of them. They're driven by college interns. They were at truck stops. The one I saw, there was a guy with his old getup on that was Little Oscar. He was driving it. Oh, you know, who was it did that? Was that on Motor Trend? Somebody did it like a, maybe it was on YouTube. Somebody did it like a drive report on it. Showed the inside and everything. I forgot about that. I've seen just Dr. Go, I've seen the Oscar vehicle, even on the highway rolling. They hire people to drive them as an annual job. Make sure to ask for a whistle. Oh, they give away whistles? Barrows isn't in here tonight. Barrows did a bit.
Earlier, wasn't it?
I don't know, maybe he is here. I mean, he could be. He was on a video and he whistled, and he wasn't whistling any tune. He's just whistling, and he got a copyright strike because somebody said that was their tune. He goes, I wasn't even whistling a tune. I was just whistling. So I guess if I hear anybody whistle, I'll try to get half their profits. Give them a strike. They had 6 of them on the road. Really? Kim, I see all this stuff hanging up. It's interesting looking.
I mean, it ain't great, but maybe we'll get some flags.
It looks like some grass or something.
Some flags or some banner. We put our no-name nationals.
Oh, that's what we do. We put the No Name Nationals banner up there.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah, we'll cut a piece of wood and hang the wood up there and put the banner on it. Of
I
course.
mean, I could thumbtack the banner up there on the same way that.
But I don't want it to sag and everything. I want it to be nice, you know?
Okay,
So I don't think we should just hang it from that piece of wood.
that's fine, but I'm just saying we can make it work. It's not heavy.
There's a website to track them. Really? You can track the
Wienermobile. That's
track the
insane.
Wienermobile. Can't wait for a future live where Buff can show Tim's 72 Demon pictures, one of my favorite cars. Yeah, that'll be Tuesday night. Tuesday night
We'll be there.
we do the live thing. Kim, this is your water, I think.
Okay.
And I can leave my seat, but I could sure use the water.
Oh, I'll bring you water. You know what? You asked. So nice.
I know, and you're right by the waters, and if I get up, I'll trip over cords, and nobody will be here. They'll be
Things are coming together. I mean,
it'll be vacant.
the rest of the garage,
Thank
the
you,
rest
thank
of the shop is an unholy mess, but the studio portion is really coming together.
Pretty soon we'll have a paint booth. You know, I was painting in here in the wintertime with the wood stove going. And you know why? You know how I did that? I'm sure you know. I was using a waterborne paint. I go, what is this? Tang.
Oh, you have more tangs still?
Yeah, now I gotta get up.
Why?
I need the scissors.
They might just be right behind me. Let me find them, because otherwise you won't be able to find them.
I'll be digging and digging and digging.
You
Yeah,
do
these things, they have a little tear spot, but you tear there,
Doesn't work.
and there's something wrong with these tear spots. They don't tear past
Look
the
at me
spot.
go. I even polished up the.
She's polishing the what do you call those things? The tangs
Yeah.
on the plug to go in the wall. Just don't polish the ones inside the outlet.
I got them already. I used my tongue.
Use your tongue. Oh man.
All right. You need scissors.
I called that thing in the wall an outlet, and somebody in the comments scolded me. Told me it wasn't an outlet, it was a receptacle. Yeah, okay.
And then we went on and on about all the things that are not what they are.
Well, the thing is, if you search electrical outlet on Google, you know what you find. All the different kinds of things that people plug into in the wall for electricity, like in every country. So, I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that have multiple names. Demon is under wraps, getting refurbished. Tang, tang, tang. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. This is not mixing up well. I should have drank a little water out of it first. There's not enough to slosh around. There's not a big enough airspace. Okay, maybe that'll do. The National Electric Code uses the word outlet, I believe. Really? Well, somebody scolded me. It's not an outlet. It's a receptacle. Deoxit D5 works better than your tongue. That's from Boston Kid 1972. Boston Kid says, did you catch that, Kim?
No, what did he say?
He says, Deoxit D5 works better than your tongue.
Oh. Deox. I don't know what he's talking about. Is that like
You said you cleaned the
is that
inside of the...
electrical contact cleaner?
He said clean the inside of the outlet with your tongue. And he said Deoxit D5 works better.
Is it electrical contact cleaner?
I don't know. Is it electrical contact cleaner? I
Like,
guess.
you might just be serious.
You know what he does. You know the flight simulators like they have for airliners?
Yeah.
He runs those things, works on them, maintains them, runs them, whatever the heck whatever that job all entails.
Okay.
It's just a super technician. As long as you know what it is and where to plug the thing up in, does it really matter what you call it? Well, this guy seemed to think so. Or woman, whatever. Somebody that was correcting me.
Everybody loves correcting people on the internet. It's a universal guilty pleasure.
Well, you know that the power strip that we showed that it was discolored, the plastic had discolored a little bit from being in the sun or something.
Yeah.
Some guy told me that it had
Smoke.
it had burned. Yeah, it was smoke. Somebody else's. That's discolored. Yeah, I know. Well, if you used very good electrical cleaner. Oh, very good electrical cleaner. Oh, do we have that out there? I don't remember.
I am going to make a YouTube video, folks, but you are not going to get to see it. Sorry. I'm gonna start this video. Do you guys want to say hello at the beginning of the video? I will put you in at the end of the video if you all say hello.
What are you doing? You're doing a short of the...
No, I'm going to do a video about what we're doing on the Dart, because that's what a YouTube channel is about. It's about working on fixing things. And okay, so when I get back, I'll do it when I get back. You guys stay entertained. You're doing a great job.
Since I had the whole interior, this is Tim. Since I had the whole interior redone, have a new 360, 350 horsepower, fresh,
Entertaining the lives.
an 833,
Can't help it.
8 and 3/4, and a bunch more parts I have been collecting for a few years. I'm gonna spring for a, excuse me, for a real paint job.
So this is much more stout because we haven't had any problems, but we don't want it.
She's talking.
Additionally, we ran this here. This is a relay, and it is going to power this fan, this electrical fan here, and this is a heat soak fan. It blow through and past everything here to keep heat soak in the summer at the racetrack. When you're starting the car, running it hard, and then trying to shut it down. Anyways, it ran power.
Quiet on the set. Trying to be a little bit quiet on the set. She's a long ways away, so I don't know if she can hear me. I hope not. Yeah, that power strip's pretty cool. I've got one at the house too that I just bought. It's black. It's brand new. They still make them. Yeah, yeah, so things don't crash into each other, and I bought some of those out at the test site, and there were guys. There's one guy wrapped it around the leg of his desk, and I don't know, they were really nice power strips. So we had several of them there, and then I bought one for myself. I guess maybe I bought the one for myself first, and then I bought the ones for the test site, and then I just recently, like within the last month, bought one for me here because I'm setting up a shortwave, ham radio setup, and I need some connections. I need a good power strip, so I bought another one, and they're still available. Although they used to come like in every different color you could think of, and now they're black. You just get black, so. Tang. Did astronauts really drink Tang? Wouldn't doubt it. Everything they had was in little packets and they had water. That would have worked. Talk to you later, Buff. Nice to see you in action. Hey, it's good to have you in here, Boston Kid. Stop by any time. We're live in the studio on Tuesday nights, where we show pictures and everything behind us on the green screen. And we do a lot of times if we're in the shop, we do a live at like 10 o'clock in the evening Central. So yes, stop by. Thanks for coming in. Tim, I'm doing the body and prep work. Found a custom shop here in town that does real nice work. Keep it Hemi orange with a few little extras. Man. Yeah, those seats look good. I'll show those on. That's probably the first thing I'll show on Tuesday night. I think they're vertical pictures. Can't really use them as a thumbnail, or I would, because they look that good. With Hemi orange, looks great with blackness. I got a can of Hemi orange over here. I think, yeah, it's Hemi orange. I don't know what I'm gonna put it on. Kim, you done? Nope, she's still talking. wanted to walk over there and get something, but there are a lot of tripping hazards between here and there. Tripping hazards. Normally I just call them traps. Try to get across the room and trip and fall and tangle up in cords and hoses. Say you're doing body and prep work, what all needs to be done is it just like repaint body work, or there like rust spots around windows and things like that, or what do you need to do? Like, Ken, I'm the same way. I walk around like Clark Griswold. Well, you know how shops are. It doesn't take long before there's extension cords and air hoses, and an air hoses will make one of these loops. Somehow I always get my foot inside the loop and then try to walk away. I don't even try to do that. It just happens. Had that black and white plaid cloth seats that I hated. So this is the soft naugahyde, like on Harley's seat. Gave the guy the Demon fender tag. He scanned it in and embroidered it in the headset on the headrest. Yeah, that looked really good. I didn't know how he did it, but looked really good. Naugahyde, it's a brand name that I couldn't think of the name of. That's what my 72 Monte Carlo. It had cloth seats, and so I bought it from a guy that was a ag student, Cal Poly, California, and he kept sheep in there. Well, you can imagine what happens if you keep 3 sheep inside a car. So then it was pretty bad. So it came apart, got all cleaned up, looked pretty good, except the seats. Had a friend of mine do the seats in a kind of a tuck, not real tight tuck and roll, but kind of, like this wide. Uh, Correct color, tan, thick, soft, squishy naugahyde. It felt like leather, and he did the interior in that. It was really good. I looked. He's still in business in California. It's called Mitch's Stitches. His name Mitch, and the guy does great work. If you're in California area, Mitch's Stitches. He's not a sponsor, but I'd say, yeah, have that guy work on your car, on your upholstery. My brother's friend drag races his brown Demon in high school. First with 340, then dropped a 440 police interceptor motor and Hurst close ratio shifter. Then a 426 Hemi, and his dad owned a wrecking. Oh, I see. His dad owned a wrecking yard. Rami Nagas gave their lives. Yeah, Nagas. I like that stuff because that felt as good as leather. I mean, it was nice, thick, soft, squishy stuff, and it didn't feel like taxi cab upholstery, And I like that car. But like everything back then, everything was always for sale. Cars came, cars went. 64 Ford stayed around for 17 years, and then it went. Kind of wish I hadn't done that, but I did. But back then, everything I had just was like, could just constant turnover. Synthetic rayon air balloons shot down by the Chinese. Synthetic rayon air balloon. What's going on, Dean? What's going on, Dean?
You can never tell with these guys. Oh, wow.
Well, I don't know if that's like a current event that happened 5 minutes ago or if that's something he's laughing about. Synthetic rayon air balloon shot down by the Chinese.
Oh, yeah.
He's asking that question. So we were talking about Naga hide, and Mike N wants to know how many Nagas gave their lives for those seeds.
For those hides?
Yeah.
All
Oh, Nagas. Nagas, I see now.
All of them.
All
Well,
those
they're
Nagas.
extinct.
So let's search Google Images for Nagas.
I bet you the AI will generate a picture of one if they can't find it.
Yeah, I'll come up with one that's
They'll make one.
2,500 pound.
Naga hides being skinned.
2,500 pound Naga with horns.
Poor
My
Nagas.
microwave display panel went out tonight. I looked up the cost of replacement control board and panel. Damn near half the cost of a new microwave, yeah. Yeah, just take the microwave apart and make it into something else. Dean Stevenson made up Nagas. Might not be polite. Okay. They always hide. The wild Nagas roaming the plains of Africa. I like it when something breaks and I can repurpose it and make something else out of it. Maybe you can build some kind of a cone-shaped antenna and point the guts from the microwave like across the yard and cook something like a couple 100 feet away, see if that works. Just don't hit anybody with it. Man, could you make a radar unit out of it? Okay, now I start thinking, what can we do with this thing? It's rayon rope. I'll bet it's Rastafarian. Kim, did you just shut down?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay,
Making...
I'm about to walk over there. Can I get through to get more water?
Yeah, I think you can.
Not gonna trip on hoses?
My...
Yeah, weaponize it.
Not responsible.
Did you only bring one piece of cheese?
Yeah, sorry.
Good. Pants are falling down. Why is it old man pants fall down?
Because you don't have no butt.
You know, I buy the same pants, but old man pants always fall down. I'm tired of it. I buy. I need to put some cargo straps for suspenders. I said I'll never wear suspenders, then I'll really look like an old man. But
Not wearing suspenders is not saving you.
so maybe I'll get some big wide cargo straps and make some suspenders. Dope on a rope. Weapons of rope hair distraction. I'll end up shutting down pacemakers. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Old man ass doesn't hold them up anymore. God, why? I have to go get some new ass. Oh, bungee cords, yeah. Some new ass injections. Inject something in there. Silicone. Okay, this time I don't have Tang. I have dragon fruit. Military has a laser mounted to the Humvee that when aimed at you can boil your blood at just the right temp to make you feel on fire and run away. Oh, yeah, I've seen that thing, and people walk toward it, and they back off in a second. It heats them right up, and they don't like it. Eat more, Taro. Simone's pants never fall down. this is pink stuff. I think that's screwed on crooked. That'll leak. Screw the cap on crooked, it'll leak. I remember when I was working in Hawaii for a while. A lot of Samoans there. Those are some big dudes, man. I remember Samoans all being big guys. Mike N's military approved cat's cradle. Nagas of mass cord retraction. These are used to clear pathways and roads for convoys to roll through. Not much rust at all. One little hole behind the rear wheel, mostly little door dings. Yeah, door dings, man. They seem to get every car. I used to get rusty business around trim. Not holes, just spots, you know. And drip rails, things like that. But I was in the Southwest, and when I was in California, I was near the beach, like within about 10 or 12 miles. So we'd drive out there, you know, in the salt air, get in the little spots, and that would cause some little, never holes, just little spots. And in Arizona, nothing rusts. Yeah, probably the cliffs. It's probably what starts it. I don't know if this is better right off at first, but I think the tang is actually better. Wonder if they make green tea, instant green tea like this. What you doing, Kim?
I'm gonna make a video back. Start.
Okay. Kim's recording again.
Screwdrivers, hemostats, all the tools. And what we were able to do is squeeze these. What you do is you put a screwdriver down the side, squeeze these containers out.
See, the largest custom-made football helmet ever made was for a Samoan NFL player, Aaron Gibson, who was 6'8" and 425 when he came from high school to college at Wisconsin. Then played at 375. Oh man, yeah, the Samoan. I remember Samoans being big guys. Trying to text somebody here. Galvanic clip anti-corrosion by there's a good word. Electricity. Going to wire wheel the underside to take that.
Say hi to the video.
Hello.
Campos over there live streaming in the rebuilt studio out in the garage.
We're I don't know where you are, but I can hear you.
They're supporting us in spirit, and we've
Oh yeah.
Get our hands to it.
It's mostly flaking off anyway. They did that in Cleveland when I bought it. Oh, you got it from Cleveland. Wow.
So I disassembled the electrical box. Oh, wait, this one I can pull apart and show you.
Okay, took care of that little thing there. I'll just pull the motor and transmission, and since the interior is out, I'll have it fully painted. Yep, you're almost there. pulling engine trans isn't a big deal on older cars, is it? And I like a front drive car with all this stuff in there. I done a couple of them and wish I'd never gotten near them because it is so much work. But the older cars,
Take a look. Oh, I'll show chat.
yeah, show the chat.
So this is what, if you could see.
Look in the monitor. Oh, you are looking in the monitor. Yeah, because it's not quite focused.
No, it's not.
There it's focused. It was. Your hands are focused now, so it must be. That is a cruddy looking thing.
Yeah, they're. Oh.
That's part of the fuse box, huh?
Yeah, these clip up through the plastic part of the fuse box, and then the old glass fuses go into them.
Glass fuses.
Right, but that brown is not copper. That's rust. And the way the fuse box is up under the dash, a little bit of moisture must have dripped through the dash, maybe around the windshield or something.
Aaron gives some block for two-time Heisman Trophy winner Ron Dane. Crazy that Mr. Heisman has a placard in Rhinelander, Wisconsin airport, buried up there. So how are you doing?
I mean, I got it all apart.
Oh, this is a nice thing.
Yeah, it's a barrel brush. Shotgun, maybe.
Remember I was telling you the thing to clean my oh, I'm not gonna tell you that story now.
Okay. Don't. This will work.
Got all these fancy little brushes to clean rust off stuff.
Darn right.
That's what Tim's talking about, cleaning the rust. Some little rusty spots off his he's doing body work on his car while he's got it apart.
Uh-huh.
And he's got one little tiny rust hole, and the rest of it's just door dings and stuff.
Good deal.
He says the dealer's still there, 130th and Brook Park, near the airport. 130th and Brook Park, I know about where that is. About 3 blocks from where I delivered most of the produce loads. I've been thinking of redoing the wiring since I'll have the car stripped. It'll be easier. Demon has glass fuses. Well, I was trying to talk her tonight into going to little push button aircraft type circuit breakers, but she didn't really want to do it to this car. I'm like, when you pop a fuse, you gotta, then pretty soon, you got a problem, and you look on the floor, there's like 25 blown fuses because you keep trying new ones. That's going to happen at night. When it's raining, you're going to be kneeling on the ground, fussing around with fuses. I go, a circuit breaker's so nice, just push it back in. But I have 2 breakers, so I have to buy some more, and they were like $32 each. And that gets kind of pricey.
That's why they don't put breakers in cars.
Well, the marine ones aren't that expensive, and they're pretty nice. And the marine ones are meant for, 12-volt systems. I'm thinking of redoing the wiring since... Okay, yeah, you already said, I already put the Heisman Trophy. No one can take that away from you. Unless you're OJ. Man, there's a guy that really had it made. Man, did he mess up. The guy did so well. And sad story. So was there any rust underneath that undercoating? At school you won't have to empty. You won't have an empty shell for a great paint job. Spitzer Dodge.
Boy, this beat's standing on my head underneath there. Trying to clean these out because they are bad. Did you get a look at this that I gave it to you?
I don't understand. Most cars.
Can you see it, or you got your long glasses on?
What am I looking at?
How rusty it is.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's like, that looks terrible.
Yeah, you're right. It's terrible.
Why most cars they put the fuses where can't get at them. Or they're really difficult. One Dodge truck had a glove compartment that opened up, and it had fuses right there. Man, was that nice. I wish they'd do that on all cars. Just some surface rust. I moved to California for about 15 years. Then I moved here to Colorado in 92, so no real rust. Just 52-year-old paint. They can't buff out anymore. Where'd you live in California? I think you told me one time where you lived in California. Is it up north somewhere? I don't know. Yeah, in California, there's another sad story. That's a really nice place to, geographically nice place to live. But, politics got kind of rough there, taxes and lack of services and everything. It's just crazy expensive. A lot of rules and regulations. I went into business in Ohio after having several businesses in California. I couldn't believe how easy it was. I just had to go get a permit and tax ID number so I could, because they wanted me to collect sales tax. But that's about it. California was like just unending crap to go through. Had a 2000 Buick Century that the fuses were on the right side of the dash. Opened the door and it was, yeah, I like that. I like that. That was a 2000 Century, huh? Dr. Go, I just put up a short on my paint finish on a 43-year-old paint somebody incorrectly buffed. And only 9 years old and burned the paint off the sharp edges. Yeah, that happens. You just clear coat it and say it's pinstripes. It's a fade job. That's something I noticed you're really good at is buffing out paint. And I am so afraid to do that. And it's for that reason that I hit some edge and get right through it. I had a friend who used to buff out cars, and he put little tape right on all the edges and buff and everything, and then he'd do the edges by hand. I don't know, is that the right way to do that? Also, anti-business work ethic sad. Some great businesses still, like Harry, the new Elon Musk. Man, I guess they had a hell of a fire in Illinois.
Who did?
Uh,
Rivian.
Rivian.
When's that? Just now?
I don't know when it was. It's pretty, not long ago. They had this. It's just online today. It's like a whole parking area. They got it all cordoned off, and every vehicle burned to a crisp.
Ooh. That's bad for us.
Yeah, and they've got it. They've got shipping containers all around the area, like a fence.
Ooh, okay.
But then people flew over with drones and took pictures of it. Gary probably knows about that. He's not in here tonight. Oh, he might be traveling.
Right over there on damage control.
Damage, yeah. Instead of going to California, they sent him to Illinois or wherever. No, I doubt it. Oh man, they had a mess. A perfect paint with clear coat. Burned it all off. Professional was sick, so they gave the job to a kid who had no training, and he ruined my original paint. Yeah. Raven looking for Harry? Ray. I don't know who Ray is.
Do we have any moderators in tonight?
I think Arrows was in earlier, maybe, but no. Might have said Arizona anyway. Yeah, I think I think he was it tonight? Or no, it was Friday night. Tomorrow night's his last night there. Yeah, because I was thinking he might want to go over to the pavilions for the car show, because every Saturday they have a big car show at a place called the Pavilions. And man, it's great. I mean, there's probably 1,000 cars there. And you know, like they have lines of Mustangs and lines of Mopars and lines of four-wheel drives. It's huge. And it's one of these car shows where everybody just drives it, you know, you just show up and display your car. So I was hoping you'd get over there, because it's really a great show. And he didn't feel good Saturday, and then he's leaving Friday, so he won't be able to go over there Saturday, obviously. Drone guy, I'll moderate myself. Dean says he'll moderate himself.
Okay. Yeah, you guys got to be on good behavior. There's no moderators right here now.
Don't say any dumb stuff. Oh, what'd you do to it?
I've been sitting here the whole time with the sandpaper and the brushy brush
It still looks all rusty.
on the outside, but where the fuses go,
Okay.
where the fuses go is good. Sheesh.
She's
So,
getting it. She's
one.
getting it.
Well, this is 2. 2 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 out of 10. That's 2 out of
It's okay to stick a wrench on me if needed. Yeah, I got too many now. I mean, what do we got? 4, I think. That's enough. But I'll keep it in mind. I don't think we have any people in here that are problems.
He's stingy with the wrenches.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's like
He doesn't want a lot of people in that.
Aries. He's got. I think everybody has a wrench. So
I think probably some of those.
I was thinking about having.
It's your chick.
I don't know if people want to do this. I'll put it up to the group here. YouTube's kind of pushing us to have what do they call it? Members, and then you get a little thing in there that shows that you're a member, and you got to pay for that. So I don't know.
Worth.
I don't know.
We'll get there.
But I don't know what it gets you. It gets you a little gizmo by your name.
That's why I've waited, because I'm thinking like membership levels should get something.
They should
something
get
real.
something.
Something real. Would you rather have a cheap membership thing, or would you rather pay a little more and get something out of it?
Well, and memberships are like $1.99.
I don't know if
Up
any
to-
of those people are.
up to like $5.99. It's like, does somebody want to pay $5.99 a month so they can come in here and chat? Probably not, you know.
Well, what if it gets them something?
Well, if it gets it, like, what are we gonna
That's the thing. What do
what
we
are we
have to
gonna
give?
what are we gonna give?
We give
know?
you everything we got.
We'll give them a little picture of something Kim's face next to their. They
Yes.
get their name in green or something.
Yeah.
Well, see, I did that with Lunar Outlaw. I'm a member of his channel. Been like that for a long time. So my name shows up with a little kind of light green thing next to my name. It's like, okay, cool. But I pay $1.99 a month for that. I don't know. Let's see. I lived in Santa Rosa up in the. Oh yeah, we talked about that. There was a good car show up there every year. Man, yeah, I know that area. I was well, it was a long time ago. It's when I was in the Air Force. Used to go over there. I don't know. Had a friend with a Corvette, and we'd ride all over in that Corvette. And we'd go to Santa Rosa. We'd go to the car show over there. Take my 64 Ford or take my Matador over there. I don't know. It's just something to do when you're in the Air Force and weekend. You got to find something to get away from the military for a day. Santa Rosa seemed like a good place to go. Also, it seems like you should demand a do-over. Oh, that's Dr. Bill. Dean Stevenson says that's 99% of what I do. 1% is accidentally appropriate. Thanks for the procedure, Tim, regarding buffing. You want to have foreigners taking over your live. Okay, wait a minute now, Dean. Who was the first mod I had on here? Was not from the U.S. Well, he was at one time, I guess, but no, he doesn't live in the U.S. Mexican Spec. You're Mexican Spec, honest. Sometimes you end up like everyone wrenching. You end up getting bots and stuff. Sometimes numbers help. Well, like get 25 wrenches all gang up on one bot. YouTube isn't compatible with my bank anyway. I'd have to find other ways. I'll donate to Mexican Spec to be my appointed foreign moderator. Yeah, where's Mexican Spec? You know what happened with Mexican Spec? He's starting to get busy. He did all our work for like a couple of years trying to promote his cars, and he'd sell a car every once in a while. And he'd sell some taillight lenses. And now he's selling some cars. So now he's busy. Well, that's good. That's really good. I hope he does well with it. And the good thing is, there's a lot of good cars there don't have any rust, and some odd cars that you can't get in the U.S. that are a little different. I'd love to get one of those AMC cars from down there, but I can't buy anything right now. I got too many projects, and not enough money. Should have gotten a full repaint, but I wanted it original. Just don't like the thought of suing for damages. Well, you know what a lawsuit is. Well, it's a pain in the ass. But a lawsuit's just where you have a third party helping you make a decision. Not that you'll like the decision, but, I don't think lawsuits are especially bad unless they're frivolous. Just getting somebody to help, prevents an argument. Wet sand with foam block. Start with polishing compound, then there are a couple of finer compounds. Then get to the glazing compound. You ever heard of anybody using cornstarch? I remember this like 50 years ago, painting cars with lacquer, and they do all that, and the last thing they were doing was buffing over them with like a real soft cloth with cornstarch. And I remember people doing that. I don't know if that's something anybody does anymore or not. We could do a Henry Kissinger fun tagged money. Kind of need real income anyway. Man, I miss having a real income kind of job. I got good money, and now I'm like, I miss that. Get Social Security. And on YouTube, Kim, I noticed we made over $1.
Woo!
I think we made $1.03 or something. Well, your video, the one I call your video, the one we did on the lawnmower, it made like 90 cents or something. We're cooking now. Yeah, that's the best one we got. Did you see the black duster he put out here? 6-cylinder, 3-speed, really clean. Don't know what he's selling it for. I'm not sure. I see a lot of his cars. The last few days I haven't kept up with it, and I usually watch all his Instagram stuff, and I haven't been, which means maybe tonight I'll open up his Instagram and look at all the cars because usually I look at them as soon as they come on, As long as I know he's Uncle Brian. And the funding message. I guess, Uncle Brian? I used to try to talk with him, but he's like, he's got a problem. Sorry. He's got such a dislike for UTG. And I'm friends with Tony, and I mean, he's so far off base a lot of times. Because I know Tony, Tony's done more for me than I've done for him. And I feel like I owe the guy, because he's given us parts and given us things and come out and rescue me on the highway one night when I was stuck. And of course, I did a lot of lives with him. I hope that helped him. I don't know if it did. Maybe it did. I know they kept inviting me back to do lives. until I had to go back to work. But I mean, it gave us a turbo. Just all around good guy. A lacquer, because it's more porous but hard. We only fixed cracks. We didn't do lacquer paint jobs. Okay. Well, the lacquer paint jobs I did. Well, see, first I did old synthetic enamel. That was thick, sticky, gooey stuff that took forever to dry, and you couldn't rub it. It was either got it on there shiny or you didn't, or you got it on there shiny with a little orange peel, which a lot of people don't like that, but I didn't mind it because it's still shiny. But you couldn't get it on dry. But then when I went to lacquer was nice. I could make lacquer look really good, but you had to rub it and you had to be careful with it. And we put a lot of it on, and we weren't. And I remember a guy telling me back then, as an old man, says, "Don't put clear over it." He goes, "Mix the clear into the color." So we were doing that. We'd put some color on, then we'd mix the clear into the color. Man, that looked pretty good. But still, it was always color sand, rub with everything. And then the old guys would always say cornstarch, wipe over cornstarch. So I did that some. Teach him how to fly an ultralight. Teach him how to fly an ultralight. I don't want to fly an ultralight. The airplanes I had that qualified as ultralights were little tiny airplanes. They were enclosed. They had brakes. They had flaps. They had all the controls. They were not typical looking ultralights, but they were. See, in the U.S., an ultralight had to be 252 pounds or 254 pounds or less, and mine weighed 252 pounds. But most of the ultralights look like lawn chairs and wires, and it takes all the power in the world to make them go like 30 miles an hour because all the drag. And I had one with 26 horsepower, and they can't go over 63 miles an hour in level flight. My problem is always they'd be going about 80, So I was like trying to slow them down because they were little tiny airplanes. But then everybody was cheating, so I didn't care. I just cheated until then I started putting in numbers, making them real airplanes. What paints are used today? Oh, he's asking that. He's asking Tim that. We used acrylic enamel. Let it set for a week and buff it. Really? Acrylic enamel. Well, acrylic enamel, you can put a catalyst in that, right? And it'll harden up pretty good, I would think. I was always really good at polishing. I have to remember the cornstarch trick, but it may not have been for paint. Yeah, cornstarch was on lacquer, and it was, oh man, that was more than 50 years ago. 50 years ago, I was in the Air Force, so it was before then. So when I was 16, 17, 18 years old, so that would have been 1970, 71, 72. And the old guys then were, guys they're all hunched over and Bondo dust all over them, and they were old guys that looked like they breathed way too much Bondo dust and paint. They were not in good medical condition, and probably from the work they did. I remember some of those guys would take Bonami cleaner and mix it with the gray primer and mix it all, try to keep mixing it up in the paint gun, and that was their fill primer. Well, now you buy fill primer,
You know what it's made of.
Maybe it's made out of Bonami.
Probably.
Well, I think they used talc, but now you can't get talc because it was some kind of a problem with talc and infections or something. I don't really know what the deal was with talc, but I know it had to go away. Vaginal infections, but we weren't, we were using it in paint. So I don't know. I guess it went away. And then Bondo used to have a lot of talc in it, but now they use micro balloons, which are little tiny hollow balls of glass. And somewhere around here, Kim, I got some bags. They're about this big. They look like bags of cocaine, but they're not. They're really,
how do you know what bags of cocaine look like?
Because I've seen people with them on TV.
Okay.
Yeah, and like cop
Miami
shows.
Vice.
Miami Vice, yeah. So they look like that, but they don't weigh anything. And if you open them, the stuff just floats in the air.
Oh, I don't want to.
Be careful. That. Don't open those bags. But that has to be mixed into epoxy.
If I find bags of cocaine in the garage, do not snort them.
Oh, don't even open them, because that stuff will just like float around the air and you'll be breathing glass,
That sounds unpleasant.
But anyway, Bondo, they started using micro balloons, and that made the Bondo much lighter and actually kind of stayed together better. You can fly ultralights without a license. Fly a little foam RC airplanes, you have to get a drone license. Yeah, an ultralight, you don't need a license, but you really should get some training because people die in those things. The people I've known that successfully taught themselves to fly ultralights, it's probably one guy, and he had a couple accidents, but he lived through it. But he managed to do it. And then he got killed in an airplane accident years later, but he had a license by then. Man, there's another good friend.
I'm sorry.
Another good friend.
The lesson learned here is that airplanes can be very dangerous. Make sure that you get proper training.
The ultralights, to find a true ultralight, it's 254 pounds, single place, you can't have a passenger in it, can't go over 63 miles an hour in level flight, can't carry more than 5 gallons of gas. And the guys that are doing the electric ultralights, they've taken something the size of a 5-gallon can, they put batteries in it, and they say that's our fuel. And the FAA has not argued with them. So, but it's so hard to get something that's 254 pounds that's safe to fly. And that's in the U.S. Everywhere else, they call them microlights, and there's some other rules, so, yeah. I did have one that actually qualified as an ultralight. At Chrysler's at Carlisle, a painter said, do 4 to 5 coats of paint, then 2 to 3 coats of paint mixed with clear, like Buff said, and then less paint than clear, and then clear only to reduce glare. And okay, so somebody's doing that still. Yeah, because that's what they used to do, was mix the clear with the paint. And that was probably, those guys who were telling me that, they were old men, and that's probably like in 1970, 71, 72. Those guys were probably in their 70s then. Old model paints, maybe. Briefly in a car models club in this small town. It was kind of mostly Vietnam vet guy space. They invited me and were nice, but I was in the way. That's all. Yeah, I built a lot of model cars, but in my teens, early teens, when I was wishing I had a real car, I was building model cars and I was painting bicycles. You can put hardener in acrylic enamel, but what you spray is what you get. No buffing. It's too hard to even buff. Oh, I didn't know that. Man. Do you use any urethane paints? The urethane paints, I used to use some that were aircraft paints, and they had UV protection, so they ended up, when you put the clear coat on, the clear would yellow a little bit, and I really disliked that. But then there was clear coat that was a urethane. I can't think of the name. It was one of the very first urethanes that came out, and they sold it as you used their colors. They weren't replicas of car colors. It was their colors and their clear. I can't think of the name of that stuff, but I used to really like that clear. And I used that, but it took forever even when you catalyzed it, well, you had to catalyze it. But when you catalyzed it, it still would take forever to harden up enough you could buff it. And I was doing airplanes, and of course, the people that buy an airplane, they're so much in a hurry. They just can't wait to fly the thing. They don't want you to wait to buff it or any. Just let me have it. Let me have it. Go fly it. I don't care if it's buffed. Just people are in such a hurry. I remember being in a paint booth and I got one wing painted. It was pretty nice. It didn't have the clear coat on it yet. And the other side, it was a base coat, clear coat, and all these different colored greens. And I was going to do the other wing, and it wasn't quite prepped yet. And the guy's going, just paint it, paint it. I said, paint it, quit prepping, just spray the paint on. He's yelling at me. He's paying for it, so I sprayed it on. It looked like crap. And then we clear coated it. He was happy, and one wing looked good, and the other wing was It was horrible because the prep was terrible. He just couldn't wait to fly it. He didn't care. I could tell they were stifling jokes for mixed company a lot. Oh. But that might have been where I learned the cornstarch trick. Cheaper for them to paint like that. Well, I'm going to charge them for the paint job. They're just, oh, what do you talk about? Cheaper to paint. Use hardener with the old enamel. Oh, like the old synthetic enamel? That stuff was sticky, gooey stuff. That's why I painted that 56 Ford in my dad's garage when he got really mad at me. Because he told me not to paint it in there, and he was gone for, my mother left for a couple of nights. He came back and they're like sticky all over, all over the inside of the garage. You paint that car in here? No, yeah, you did. How'd you get all that paint all over everything? You know, because the sticky paint would float around, stick to stuff. So, man, I got in trouble when I was a kid, but mostly I was trying to be productive. Still got in trouble. So, yeah, that's right. I bug walked through the roof of my car, and I bug walked through, like 4 or 5 inches, just stretching gooey white enamel across the top of the 56 Ford. Yuck.
What a jerk.
That stinking bug. Well, I painted it, and then I walked around the other side, and I'm reaching over in the 56 Ford. It's kind of tall. I'm really having a hard time reaching over it, but you don't want to fog the middle. You gotta do it while it's wet and it still flows out. So I paint one side, go over the other side, paint the other side, and then I went around the first side, and there's this big bug crawling through the first
super
side.
Leggy? Was it a super leggy bug?
Big leggy, big.
I hate those things.
And he was probably pissed off at me too.
Like the smell.
He died in that paint.
Yeah,
Later, after it was all like a week later, after it was hard enough to sand, I was sanding him out of it. I had to redo that whole top because enamel, you can't spot enamel. It's going to make a little foggy spot, You got to spot it by taping off one whole section. Dr. Go, you don't get so much reflection off the paint with the clear mixed in. The example car looked like I could stick my arm 3 feet into the paint to find the bottom. Way better looking than clear only. Oh, if maybe my uncle's boat, he had some kind of gel coat done. We were doing some polishing of that. See that now, I worked with fiberglass guys, and they'd spray gel coat inside. Well, they'd have a mold that's polished. I mean, really polished mold, and they'd spray gel coat in there, and then do the whole layup and everything. And then when you pull it out, man, it looked like it was already painted. They'd buff that out. That was, they'd put like clear gel coat and then metal flake and all kinds of stuff, and then do the fiberglass layup. And man, that looked like a metal flake paint job when they were done. But that, you got to have molds the molds have to be just so, You have to have the real respirators and air cyclers. It never comes out of your lungs dry too hard. Yeah, when I was painting the airplanes with the urethane, we had the company I was working for, we had a paint booth, a real paint booth with filters and lights and everything. It was pretty good. And then we had, of course, I had a respirator with fed air in from somewhere else, a big old hose that came over there. And so I had fresh air. And then we had one that had a thing we could wear, and it had filters on it. But I remember seeing that thing, but I don't know if I ever used it. I suppose it's okay. Gel coat. Respirators, you needed a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Trust it. And Leonard. We put 2 base coats down for the color. Then 1 coat, if it had metallic. Then 1 first coat, let the metallic sit on top of the paint. Then you put a few coats of clear, it makes it look deep. I remember I did a metal flake job on a Buick And man, I'm not even a painter. I don't know why I'm telling all these painting stories. It's like little paint jobs throughout my life that where I was painting stuff, but never worked in a body shop. But I did a Buick, and I painted it with gray primer. I just put down the gray primer, and then I started putting clear over it, and then I took clear and put this giant metal flake I got from House of Colors, and I sprayed that metal flake down. So it was gray background with this metal flake that kind of changed colors depending on how you looked at it. So it's kind of a silver looking metal flake until the lights hit different directions. And then it was coat after coat after coat after coat of clear, and then sanded it a little bit. But I had to be real careful not to get into the flake. And then, because it was starting to get a little wiggly looking, so I sanded a little bit, but I was afraid to sand much. And then I put another 10 coats of clear on it, and was able to color sand that and buff it out, and looked stupid. It was just this out in the sun. It was like, God, look at that. The kid that bought it from me, it was my car. A kid that bought it from me loved it, but it was a little bit of an overdone paint job. I don't know what the hell I did that for. I wanted to try it, I guess. Oops, missed it. You need real respirators for urethane paint. It's plastic. Yeah, that stuff will go off inside. Yeah. When I was doing urethane, I had air coming from somewhere. This more vintage boat, whatever they put on it. You know, all that stuff used to be, I'm sure it was all polyester resin fiberglass boats. And I think that's most of the what do you call it, the gel coat was. Oh, I gotta stand up here for a second. I'm hurting, and the reason I'm hurting, I had my wallet in my pocket. I'm sitting on my wallet. Oh man, does that feel good? No more wallet. I was wondering why my back was hurting. I'm sitting here like this on an angle. Yeah, lately I've been painting cars with you can go back and look at my videos, water stuff. I've been painting the Valiant parts, and they're kind of flat colors because the car has, what, 52-year-old paint on it? So the kind of flat color, water base, man, it just about matches the original paint, which is kind of flat looking. But I'm going to pull the deck lid back off that, I think, and I'm going to clear coat it on the inside. Because the inside of the trunk still looks brand new, except for that deck lid that I painted. And I'm going to clear coat that and see how that looks. And if it looks good, when I get the Valiant done, I'll clear coat the whole thing. I'll do it all with water base, except for the clear coat. And the clear coat, of course, is going to be a respirator job. Urethanes, they're nice, but you can't be breathing that crap. 150s, 60s boats before they were factory gel coated. You can either paint or gel coat over. I guess you can spray gel coat on over the polyester resin based boats. Then either can buff out. Okay, so you're putting a polyester based gel coat over polyester. That must be fun. So you've got a catalyzed. Wait a minute. That gel coat's catalyzed. And it seems to me, see, I don't know much about that. It seems to me that polyester goes off pretty quickly. It kicks. So how do you get that through your spray gun? You just lightly catalyze it, or is it made to take longer to go off, or you have to move fast, or tell me about that. See, now epoxy, I know how to make epoxy take a long time, and I don't know if they make any epoxy gel coats. I'd love to do epoxy gel coats. You put epoxy over anything. Could be Doc. Memory's late on details about it. What's the little glass tron? Okay, I'm gonna learn about paint here.
I know, I hear you guys really get into weeds about the paint. That's cool.
We don't have a big bunch of people in here tonight, but we're They got my interest tonight with the paint.
That's okay.
What are you doing? You got your contacts in?
No, for really close up, I need to take my glasses off.
Just be careful. You know what I noticed, because I know other things that happen. It's been a year since you got that piece of metal in your eye. It's been over a year, and that seems like it just happened. But she had a piece of metal in her eye, and then, oh man, to the doctor.
I had to go to the doctor over and over again.
And then to the doctor again, to the doctor again, and they kept thinking they'd get it out, and they couldn't get it out. And then she went to a doctor, and that doctor, the same doctor wasn't there, a different doctor, and they got it that, then it was right out. And then it healed up. But it was like weeks of that, screwing around with a piece of metal in her eye.
Drops or cream or whatever, I don't even remember. A lot of that.
I can smell the MEKP. I don't think, is it the MEKP that smells? Or is it the polyester? I don't especially like polyester resin. I'm looking up here. Oh, there's a bunch of it right there. And there's some more over here. So, oh, there's a couple cans of Bondo. But I know I have a big can of polyester here somewhere. It was right here close. And I'll use it for something. Oh, there, it's up there. I'll use it for something, but we gotta have that's gotta be summertime, have the door wide open. Of course, then all the bugs come in, go stuck to it. I don't know.
We need screens to go in front of the doors.
I am definitely an epoxy person. And in the early days of epoxy, there were a lot of people couldn't work with it because they'd get a little on their hands and their arms, and they just break out, look like poison ivy. But and they could not work with it. And then there was a company came around, Safety Epoxy, and it got it was better for them. And now I can't think of anybody I've met in at least the last 10 years that have worked with had any epoxy problems. So I think the companies that make epoxy have worked that out. I'm looking at all our stuff up here. I know we've got quite a bit of epoxy, but I'm going to have to buy some more. Oh, man, I love working with epoxy and fiberglass. Kim, what can we make tonight? Let's make something out of fiberglass. E-Fog 3. Good evening.
Welcome to the stream.
Oh, I think I have something in my eye. Hopefully not a piece of metal. I think it's just eyelash or something. Metal never feels good in the eye.
It's the opposite of good.
Man, I remember the guy next to me, it was my last radiator shop, he had a muffler shop. He comes over to me, he goes, "Hey, look at my eye, something happened." And I look in his eye, and it's like, man, it looks like there's a burnt hole in his eye.
Oh, man.
And he goes, "Can you see what's in my eye?" I said, "You got to go to the doctor." He goes, "Why?" I said, "It looks like you burned a hole in your eye." He goes, "A hole in my eye?" I said, "Just go to the doctor. Now, I'll drive you." Something. He goes, "Oh, I got somebody to drive me." And he went to the doctor. He came back with a patch over his eye. It's like, it healed up, but that was a nasty looking wound.
I don't
but
like that.
I know what happened. He was welding, and something popped. You know, he did all his exhaust work with oxyacetylene. And I know what happened. It popped and splattered, and he wore these glasses, you know, the ones that taper back like this. And I know what happened. A piece of that stuff went over the top glasses and went in his eye. What amazed me is when you got that piece of metal in your eye, you had like all kinds of protection on.
Yeah.
You know what I think happened to her? I think she got it in her hair, and I think it dropped from her hair into her eye after, like, some time afterwards, because it started bothering her when we got home. And I think a piece of metal came from her hair or something, or from her forehead, and dropped down into her eye. Because I don't think it happened while she was working. She had a lot of eye kind of protection on. I'm going to put a little bit of gold metallics on the hemi-orange paint job. Just enough to make it sparkle in the sun. Not enough for the gold color. Well, that's interesting. You ever deal with a company called I just said it a little bit ago. House of Colors. So they got all kinds of. I go in there. It's like a little kid in Christmas shopping, you know. House of Colors. I don't have the money for that stuff anymore. I used a lot of epoxy paints when they came in cans, like furniture and guitars. New epoxy paints is like two-part, and you puncture a thing underneath, and then you shake it up, and it catalyzes. That's pretty cool stuff. You actually have catalyzed.
This is the last one.
Paint.
I'm getting good at it now. That
Oh, that one looks really good. Yeah, I actually have catalyzed paint in a spray can. Mechanical tooth sanding on old cold resin to get a bite. Oh, I know what you mean. So it has some tooth. If you did a resin layup and followed right away with spraying gel coat, it will be a chemical fine. Gel coat sprayers use big orifices. Oh, okay. Hammerite. Trademark. Well, see, I knew a fiberglass guy. He used to spray gel coat in, and it'd start to tack up, and then he'd use. Oh, what did he do? He sprayed something else in, and then his first layup was with this stuff called. It's like a real fine. I've got some here. Veil, and he put veil down, and then you couldn't. And that stuff was so fine it wouldn't show through. You wouldn't get any markup through the surface. Some people call it markup, some people call it print through, and that veil would just make the print through disappear. And then he'd do his layups after that, but he'd wait till that gel coat was just about there. You know, it had kicked, but it wasn't cured. Oh, I gotta be quiet. Quiet on the set. Quiet on the set. She's recording. Your finger, Buff. Jeez, what's wrong with my finger? What happened to my finger? What did I do to my finger? What are you saying? What did I do? Was I rubbing my nose? What are you saying, my finger? I had a rust ring drilled from my eye that developed from rusty metal in my eye, bounced off inside safety glass. Yeah, metal was gone, but it had to have that coated rust ring drilled. Eesh. What are you talking about, Dean? Dean, is he talking all this? I never quite get it. I'm pretty dense. Your finger. What happened to my finger? Cellulose. I had a rust ring. Oh, I already read that. Cellulose. Dean. Finger. Cellulose. I'm not sure. Yeah, I like messing with. I don't know which I like more, aluminum sheet metal work, or epoxy and fiberglass. And of course, paint I like, but doesn't mean I'm good at it. If Kim drills any more holes in her finger, she's going to have to do some medical shorts. Oh yeah, I had something in my eye. You know what it was? Oh, I had my finger in my eye. You know what it was? I think eyelash or something went upside down or something. Because as soon as I rubbed my eye, it was gone. Yeah, I'm afraid to do medical shorts on here because then somebody will copy what she does, and then it won't work out, and they'll, here comes the lawsuits. Have to do, what do you call them, ahead of time. Never do this.
Yeah, let's just not do it.
She goes, no, let's not do this. Yeah, Tim says if you do any more, drills any more holes in your finger, you're going to have to do some medical shorts.
No. Band-Aid.
I had something in my eye. It was my finger. Yeah, okay, now I get it. Yeah, actually, the finger didn't go in. The finger rubbed whatever it was. I think it was I was gonna say shoelace. That's wrong. Eyelash. Kind of sounds like shoelace. That's an eyelash.
Thanks everyone for being here, giving us all kinds of encouragement to keep making content and improving what we're doing. We're getting accustomed to the shop here with well, we have a lot of cleaning to do, you know that.
Well, I thought there's like a spray can of stuff I never seen, and it says waterproofer.
It came out of one of the bins of spray stuff. I don't know.
Where did that
like
come from?
Or something. I don't know. It was in one of those bins.
I didn't buy that.
I don't know. I was thinking about putting it on seats. Might make them.
How about putting it on the wall outside to keep the water from coming in when it rains?
Well, you could do that. Yeah. It'll make the water bead real good.
Could be, and then it'll run in.
Who's EFOG 3?
He came in. Or she came in.
Welcome to the stream. That's got to be somebody. They're saying hello to.
Oh yeah, I said hello, and
they must know each other from somewhere
and
else.
you were. EFOG 3's been in here before.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Been in here in our lives.
I don't recognize the name yet.
Okay, and you were over there.
I'm working.
You're doing whatever you're doing, and
Not whatever I'm doing. I'm doing important stuff.
You're doing important stuff. Well, you're over there doing live. You're doing a video, and you're cleaning. Fuse,
I have cleaned all
holders.
the rust out of the electrical box so that it gets good contact. We don't have any hot spots in there.
Do you know where that board is? That aluminum thing that had the switches and the lights? Top secret thing I had?
I think it's in the box where you have like all the electrical components.
So we do know where it is. Okay.
I think that's where it is.
I think I might want to use that for my car for the fuse box that I make into a circuit breaker panel.
Okay, that sounds great.
Yeah, when we get, I got too many projects I want to do. I have all these plans for the Valiant, but it's kind of, we're working on this car right now, and then the Spitfire's next. That's my next big project, and then the Valiant. I guess I'll go back to the Valiant because the Valiant at least runs, but it's got all wrong wheels on it now. It's got your 13-inch wheels on it. It's kind of funny looking little car now.
Oh yeah, I gotta get some different wheels.
Well, I just gotta keep an eye out for those. But what I really want is the little Spitfire project, and make it into something different. And it's gonna roll in here where the Dart is, and it'll probably take up about 2/3 of the space that the Dart does. Spitfire's a pretty small car. It'll be easier to get around it. And now you've unblocked the shear and the brake, so I'll be able to work on do aluminum work. Kim is doing shop remodeling. Kim's version of this old house. Buff's old shop. Buff's old shop. My old shop was really cleaned out, had nothing in it. Then I moved from Arizona, and it was completely full to the top. You couldn't open the doors and come in. It was that full. And Kim started working on it with me. And she's done a lot more work than I have. But she's made it into a workable shop. She threw away a lot of my stuff that I didn't want to throw away, but it's, it comes down to, are you ever going to use this again? Airplane building tools. Big, huge jigs for building wings and stuff. It's like, are you ever going to build another airplane? I'm like, probably not, but I don't want to throw this tool away. It's worth a fortune. But who else knows how to use it? Well, it's kind of a process that was developed over time. It's like, no, we dragged it out, cut it up and dragged it out. So, so now we have room for cars. 12 and a half loyal, love it. Accepting, stimulating alpha testers. I know you were enthused. How's that Dart coming along? It's coming along real well. We've got all the big stuff is done. The rear end's done, drive shaft. The only thing we haven't done the rear end, we need to change the fluid in it since we put it in. But we didn't want to put new fluid in until we were sure it was okay. And it has no noises in it, performs well. It's the other rear end was extremely noisy. So we'll change the rear end fluid. The has tires on it now, has new wheels on the back, has new wheels all four corners, has new tires, has She she put a new radiator in it, has an engine driven fan, but she also wants to have an electric fan because they tend to get heat soaked when you shut them off. So she's working on the wiring. The fuse box was a mess, so she's rebuilding the fuse box. This is a rusty piece of junk. And I don't know, Kim, what else is left?
We did the seat.
Oh yeah, you did the seats. That was a huge job. The seats is probably the biggest job. Uh, there are some lighting issues, but we've got everything working. But one taillight's really dim. But maybe that'll get cleaned up with the fuse box, with all the bad fuses and the little, it's got the little glass fuses, but the things that glass fuses snap into were just rusty, and she's fixing that right now. What else needs to be done? So the fan will be working. I don't know. We're getting the point where we need to drive that thing around for a week or two just to find any other little problems, if there are any, and then drive it to No Name Nationals. That's a 3.5 hour drive. So, Dr. Gold, when I retire, I want to restore a small 1958 fiberglass boat so I can practice with epoxy and gel coat. They say you should put gel coat on epoxy. They say you should put gel coat on epoxy. Go on polyester. Yeah, you cannot put polyester over. Well, you can put polyester over epoxy, but it's not going to stay put. You can put epoxy. Epoxy will stick to anything except, oil or grease or water. But epoxy or wax, multitasking Kim. Yeah, she's. I'm amazed. The only thing I'm better at is airplane stuff, and that's just because she's not familiar with the airplanes. After I knew her for a while, I said, I wish you'd been out at the test site with us because you would have been the best tech we had. Everything she dives into just figures it out. Next thing you know, it's working, And there's a lot of times I'm ready to chuck something in the trash and just buy a new one, and she's like, no, I think I can make it work, and pretty soon it's working. I just hope when she's going down the track at No Name Nationals, those two front wheels don't come off. Yeah. Yeah. I asked her about that. She said she put cotter pins in there. I should check it, huh? I noticed it's got hubcaps on it now. It's got dog dish hubcaps on it. She must have done something. Yeah, for those of you that were not in here, the night she was doing the video, she showed how to adjust the front wheel bearing right, and then how to put that little
I didn't make that
the
video
little thing
yet.
on. Oh, well, they were watching you do it, and
Yeah.
then where the cotter key goes in, she sticks a drywall screw in it, and then she did it again and stuck a nail or something in it, or
I
stuck
did a bunch
a
of
zip tie. I don't know. She used everything except what you're supposed to use, which is a cotter pin. So
There'll be a video out like that before long.
So she said she did fix all that with a cotter pin. You didn't leave a drywall screw
I
in there,
left the
did you?
drywall screw in there.
Yeah, well, they're worried about you going down the track and No Name Nationals. So
With a drywall screw?
then it comes out. And,
Come on. Get a sense of humor, folks.
well, and then the guy that does, what's his name? I can't think of his name. Does all the tech, techs of cars out there.
Oh, yeah, he's a good guy.
He's, yeah, a guy that knows everything
I
about
can't
drag
remember the
racing.
name of his channel.
He's been drag racing for 50 years. That guy sees a drywall screw holding the front wheel on. You're not going to pass, Tech.
No, he won't even let you after you fix it, probably.
Hence the name Kim Possible. Uh-oh, Kim, what do we got here? Fix some kind of warning. Warning, warning.
That's okay.
She fixed it. What's that? Oh, hence the name Kim Possible. Because she can do anything that needs fixed. She's a smart person for sure. You both have great knowledge. Except she works more than I do.
You work. Just this isn't your.
I sit here and run my mouth. But
well, it's
I've had
important
years of knowing how to do all this stuff.
important
It's just like,
to
yeah.
continuously maintain the.
I still had a lot of confidence in myself. You remember that day down at Uncle Tony's shop? And I crawled underneath that satellite or GTX or whatever it was, helping Tony work the headers or something off of it. Whatever we were doing. And then I got to crawl out from under that car and get up. Man, I hurt. I hurt. I stood up and I'm bent over at the waist 90 degrees and I couldn't stand up. And I finally found a stool and slowly over about 10 minutes stood up straight. It's like, oh, I shouldn't be crawling under cars anymore.
All right, I got to start this video.
Okay, wait a minute. And then I did it a few more times and I've realized I shouldn't be underneath the car anymore. What? What are you starting?
Starting a video. I got the fuse panel in there. Okay? And now that the fuse panel is in there, we are going to do the smoke test. Not the smoke test, the the test for bad things. Put this on here.
Smoke test.
And we're gonna, maybe we have a dome light. Wouldn't that be cool if we had a dome light in the car?
Hook the battery up and do the smoke
With
test.
anything? Got the electric light, still no dome light. Okay. We got the finish. Nothing. What the heck is going on? Nothing yet.
Turn on the fan. No fan.
Thought things were
No smoke.
going better now.
Kim, I have a suggestion.
What's the suggestion?
Do you have a second fuse holder on that fan? Does it have a fuse in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of fuses. All right. Well, still nothing. Time to get the electrical meter and see what the
Get the meter.
hell is going on.
Get
Did I hook that fan? I think I maybe hooked that fan to keep power like a dummy.
hooked it to what? Oh, so you have to turn the key on? That's bad.
Yeah, that's the opposite of what I wanted, but I can fix that. That's what's
I bet that's what happened.
that's what's wrong. We can fix that. Yeah. Keys. Let's see if we can make it go.
Yeah, she wants the fan for after she shuts the car off to keep the engine from getting heat soaked. So it can't be on key on. It has to be on key off, unkeyed power. It starts or it
Yeah,
cranks.
headlights.
No headlights. No headlights.
Dude.
Oh, Kim, what'd you do?
Oh, well, I got to.
You have fan now. Fan. Do you have a turn signal? Left turn. I can't see the right turn if you're trying it.
I got right. I'm trying right turn.
I don't know. There's a big thing in the way. I'm trying to move it. I can't see it. Hang on. A lot of stuff in the way. Oh yeah, you got right turn?
I got no dash lights.
You still have right turn. Well, you don't have any running lights on. Oh, you don't have a turn signal indicator?
No. Not on this side.
Oh, you got a left turn? Take the dash back out again. Flight testing. No, pre-flight testing. Let's see. Dr. Go, I have to hit the hay, so enjoy your troubleshooting. Thanks for putting up with the hay. Thanks for being here. Yeah, take care. Good night. Tim, I hurt yesterday a lot. Today I'm just sore. So I'm getting better. Sore is usually good if you just like overdid it a little. I kind of like sore when I overdid it a little because then I know I'm exercising. Muscling that motor around was more than I thought it was going to be. But my buddies didn't show up yet. It's like, yep.
Oh, man.
Well, the only time I've really hurt myself, muscling an engine around is when it gets off balance and I gotta grab it and it's more than I should be grabbing. But just, if you can keep things balanced and moving around and not getting out of control, it's just using your muscles. So I always say sore is okay, but injured is not okay. I injured my back moving up. God, what was I moving around? 429 Ford, maybe? What the heck engine was I moving? It is heavy. It was a heavy, it was a big engine. I don't remember what it was. I was muscling around and I could just like kind of walk it across the floor. And then somehow it started getting off balance. I didn't want it to fall and break something on the engine, and I had to stop it from falling, and I hurt my back. And it still bothers me a little bit. Well, I hurt it again one time putting landing gear on an airplane. Yeah, we were doing it. We were putting landing gear on this airplane in a horse where they normally were horses, and we had a come along hooked to the ceiling, and we had the airplane hanging from the come along, and we had the landing gear off of it. And it's a big piece of aluminum that goes up underneath the airplane and comes back down. There's wheels on either side, and this thing's kind of heavy. And there's two of us, and we're sitting across from each other, and we're sitting in the. I'm sitting on like a little blanket in the horse poo, you know. And he's doing the same thing on the other side. Well, I'm picking this thing up, and we're trying to get the bolt started, and I'm a little off center. Well, the mistake I made was trying to scoot over to get myself on center, make it easier to hold this thing up. Because you know how it is when you're holding something else up and it's off center? Well, when I tried to scoot over in the horse crap, my butt didn't move. My back just went wrench, and it pulled the same spot in my back that I messed up when I was walking that 429 Ford across the floor. And I'd done it twice, you know. So, still bothers me a little, but mostly not. That was a lot of years ago. Man, I know when that was. That was in 1999. Might have been 98. It was late 90s when I did that. Years later, I had a doctor, and he's big, heavy guy from India, and I weighed too much, and I say, yeah, I got to lose some weight. He goes, oh, you're fine, you're fine. It's okay to be fat, you know. No. Later, I lost 100 pounds, and I found out I had diabetes, and man, did I feel better. But different doctor by then. But this guy, I was in there with some kind of respiratory thing, and my coughing, and had, you know, like a cold that got out of control. I was worried I had pneumonia. So he's back there with a stethoscope listening. Breathe, 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 breathe. One of those things. So while he's having me breathe, he's running his thumb or his finger or something up and down my backbone. And I'm thinking, what's he doing, you know? So he gets done listening to me breathe, and he goes, did you injure your back? I'm going, yeah, a long time ago. Like a couple of years ago. He goes, how'd you do that? And I said, well, I was lifting a big VA engine around. He goes, what are you doing that for? I said, because I'm the only one in the shop, but I'm the only one that can do it. And I said, I really had it under control, but it started getting out of control, and I had to grab it. And he's like, don't do that, you know, but he could feel that. He could feel that spot in my spine. And when I drive long distances, it got so it bothered me. But over the years, it stopped bothering me. So, I guess it healed. I don't know. Oh, and then when I broke all those bones in my back, when I got run over by the Studebaker, that problem never came back. So maybe it's all healed. The stuff from getting run over got all healed. Took about 12, 13 weeks, something like that. Hey, okay, I already got that. Later, everybody's saying goodbye to. Yeah, your friends didn't show up. That's too bad. You know, when I'm trying to muscle something around now, you know who always shows up? Kim. She'll always be there. She always shows up for me. In fact, she's kind of worried about me. She says, oh, don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. She's like several inches taller than me and younger, and better shape than I am. You know, in here, in my brain, I kind of think like the same as I always did, like when I was 25 or 30 or 35 years old. But I am noticing moving around is getting more difficult. And like crawling under a car and coming out, yeah, it's painful standing back up again. I think about my father. I remember him I'm 70, when he was 70, he wasn't crawling underneath cars. He was walking a lot. He'd walk 3 miles a day, but he wasn't lifting things. He wasn't crawling underneath stuff. He'd slowed down quite a bit. He wasn't running anymore. He used to run a lot, and he was walking.
I was moving around too
walking
much.
3 miles a day though.
I busted that light.
Which light?
Pushed it a little bit and it
This
snapped
light?
up. No, the one that's.
What? Let me see that. What? Is there a hole in the middle of this?
I need it.
Oh, I never noticed. Does anybody ever have these? These are these Philips LEDs. They're so good. These are like the best light bulbs ever made, and they quit making them.
He loves them.
Oh man, I bought like all of them, and now I find them on Amazon. They're like $30 a piece or $50 a piece. I can't buy them
You're
anymore.
running up the price.
Man,
Good night, Dr.
they were
Bill.
boxes of them for normal price, and now they're crazy expensive. So somebody knows that they can get more money for them, or maybe they can't. They're just too stupid. Ask too much. Those were the best LED bulbs ever made. And a lot of people, I had a friend say, oh, it puts out funny light because they're funny shaped. It doesn't. You just screw them in a regular light bulb socket, and they're wonderful. And I'm starting to run out of them. I have a few left. Man, I don't know why. They're Philips bulbs. I don't know why they quit making them. Probably because they look funny. So they probably didn't sell well because they look funny. Man. Great light bulbs. And that's the last one in the shop up here. I think I still have some in the house. And I got them screwed into a lot of sockets. There's a woman I knew years ago, and she was single mom, and I still know her. I mean, but single mom and little kid, and struggling with life, working, trying to make ends meet, you know. And she lived back east somewhere, and I, you know, she's chasing work, you know. So I stopped at her house one time. I was headed from Alabama up to Maryland, and she lived about halfway on that trip. So I stopped there, her house, and she goes, just stay here tonight. She let me stay in a bedroom, and I'm in there. It's really dark, and it was like a living room and kitchen downstairs, and upstairs there were 2 bedrooms. So she stayed with her son. I'm in a bedroom, and she brought a light bulb in and screwed it in to the light in the room I'm in. And then the room there, and it's dark, and it's dark downstairs. She goes, well, I only have 1 light bulb. Like, what? So she's moving 1 light bulb around from downstairs to this bedroom, to that bedroom, to the bathroom. Time to take a shower. Take the light bulb in there. Like, you gotta be kidding me. So one of the things she wanted to do was go to Walmart for something she needed. So we went to Walmart. While we were there, they had the oh, I know, it wasn't Walmart, it was Home Depot. And they had those Philips lights there, and I bought like a case of them. Brought them over to her house, and I screwed light bulbs in all her fixtures. And I said, these are LEDs, they won't use much power. Your electric bill isn't going to go up as long as you turn them off and you're not there. But now you don't have to move the light bulb around, you know. But then I could just buy a box full of them. Wish I could still do that. Man, if I'd known they were going to quit making them, I would have bought like several cases of them. They came in 2 different color temperatures. They came in like 2700, which is kind of yellow, orangey looking, and 5000. A 5000 is like daylight. They're just perfect, you know. Good bulbs, $40 4-pack. Really. These ones, I don't know what these were kind of expensive at first, but then the price kept going down. They were around $3 or $4 a piece. but they last forever. I've never had one of these go bad. These Philips, those flat, look like lollipops. Uh, the new LEDs, I don't even know which to buy. Philips has some that look more like a light bulb, so I don't know. I don't know. Hate watching the news. Now Fox is showing armed Venezuelan gangs in Denver. Oh, wonderful. Taking over apartment complexes. Busing people and taking everyone's rent. Denver's been busing illegals down here now. Yeah, I hate watching the news. And the news has usually got a lot of errors in it. Oh, so you know this. Philips flat bulbs are gold. You're not kidding. And they quit making them. And the price had come down to the point they were like normal light bulb or like normal LED kind of prices. Oh, I thought you said gold. Good. I see. Good. Yeah, they're great. I still have like 3 or 4 of them up in the house that I haven't used yet. And there was one here in my toolbox drawer, and she just grabbed it. So, man, and they don't get hot. They don't have any method of cooling other than that loop, so they stay cool. And I think inside that flat part, I think there's like a heat sink in there, but I'm not sure. But they don't get hot at all. Pretty nice thing. What makes them good? Well, I think I read about them, and I don't think they have any kind of special cooling problems. And they have a loop. The LEDs are all in a loop. And man, I've gone up right while they've been burning for like an hour and just unscrewed them with my hands. They're never more than body temperature. And I think when I was just looking through that one, I could see a hole in the middle of something inside, and I bet there's a plate in there that lets the heat go into the center of the bulb, but it doesn't. It never feels hot. It's just I think they look funny, so they probably had a sales problem with them. She's saying something in the car, like, ow, like, ouch. She's saying, ouch. Did you drill into your finger again? Can't hear her. Are you okay in there?
Yeah, do you want to take video of me being upside down in the car?
She wants me to go take a video of her being upside down in the car. Stand by. I'll try to talk loud enough you can hear me. Okay, I'm headed that way. Oh, you're in there. Okay, hold it. I gotta get around.
It's already started, but
You just did it.
I'm trying to find the probably.
Hold on, I'm looking the wrong way. I was looking at me. So, camera's upside down in the car, on the dash, messing with the fuse block.
Yeah, pictures are good now. My arm is the wrong shape.
Your arm is in the wrong shape.
It doesn't articulate it up.
Those people that designed this Dr.Art didn't consider your arm.
I consider my arm articulation problem.
Something bright under there. I'm catching it. Like, oh, there it is. I was catching it in the camera, but not.
This is definitely a challenge.
Okay, that is extremely bright.
But
Extremely
I got what's wrong. The problem is that this switch here,
Yeah.
it's not. Yeah.
Oh, it's not plugged into the harness. Yeah. Not having the switch plugged in is a problem. Okay, do you want me to get back to my...
Yeah, you
Okay, what do I do? Shut this off? Because this is just going to be a video of you with your arm up in there. It's off, and it's up on top of the dashboard. Okay, she had that clamp on light, and this is what broke. It had a fluorescent light. Yes, I got it. So anyway, she had that fluorescent light in there. That's what broke, and now she has LED. I'm getting over here where I can see all of them. Yes, both headlights are on. Having the switch hook up probably made a big difference. So anyway, the LED works better than this fluorescent. This is a weird fluorescent. Oh, this is one of these CFL things. Yeesh. Fire makers. Well, anyway, it's broken. So it'll get put in an appropriate location. Tim says he doesn't see any smoke. No, the lights came on. You know what it was? She's up under the dash, and there's a plug on the back of the headlight switch, and it was not plugged in. So she's like all the way up under there, snaked up underneath the dash with a bright light right in her face. But it's the LED, so it's not hot. Man, it used to be, you know, those lamps that are, you saw it, a big thing like this has a clamp on it. Man, those things with an incandescent bulb in them, they're like torture, because that reflector just gets, I mean, it'll really burn you. So those things, they're as bad as a drop light. I'm actually glad this is broken. These things are scary. You know the ones that look like this, but they're curly cues? I had one of those one time catch on fire, and it blew a hole in this thing in the side, and smoke and fire and everything shot out of the side of it. Like, oh man. Fabrique in Chini. Made in China. Yep, the other side it says made in China. So I don't know how to speak French, but that's French. Made in China. M-I-S-E, Mise in Garde, G-A-R-D-E. That's French. And you turn it over, it says listed UL caution. Most things we have in this country are Spanish and English, and this is French and English. I bet they sold these in Canada. Luminous mysteries of the metaverse. I hear the heat gun under the dashboard. You heat gunning under there?
No, that's the
Oh, that's the fan. Oh, that makes more sense. I'm gonna go look. You know, Kim, it doesn't move a lot of air because it's on the front of the radiator, but it does move air. You can feel air moving past the manifold. Good. I'm sure it will take heat away, especially if you open the hood. Why is there a clothespin on the fuel line? Don't tell me. You're trying to get rid of, you got clothespins on the fuel line. Is that a joke?
yeah.
It's a joke, okay. I used to see people do that in the 70s. They put clothespins all over their fuel line to prevent uh, vapor lock. Like that was going to work. David Callan is an agent of the State Secret Service dealing with internal security threats to the United Kingdom. Okay. Tim, guy up the street had his garage burned down last week. Oh no. Got his nice old Porsche. He left his e-bike on charger. Oh man. You know, these electric vehicles, they're really nice and they're really fun. And I know the electric bikes, I really like them, you know, because you just get on them and they're quiet and they move around. And then you hear stories like this and people know this happens. You know, electric cars, they tell you to park them out away from your house, you know. People park them in their garage. TV series Callan had a swinging heat lamp light bulb used for torture of M50. I remember seeing old movies with prisons and they had a thing hanging down with one incandescent light bulb hanging from a cord. God, quality control needs to happen. Well, I'm not sure it's quality control. It could be. I mean, it could be as much as some design problems as well. I mean, something. I mean, they work a lot, but then, and I don't know what caused that problem in Illinois at the Rivian plant. There were, I mean, if you get online, I'm sure you'll find it. There's a pretty good sized parking area, and every truck there is burned up.
Oh, that moves a lot of.
So feel it back right by the intake manifold. You feel it?
Yeah, that's really good.
Well, yeah, and if you have the hood open, that'll really circulate some air around there.
Yeah, that's more than enough to keep it from getting too soaked. But it just push air around. That's good.
Okay, you know what we need to do now, Kim?
What's that?
Come here. Come here. Come here. Take this.
Let's see how many amps it posts.
Yeah, see what it draws. And it's the only thing running right now?
I mean, I could just go directly across the wire that goes to the fan.
Yeah, it might work. Or you go to the battery cable if there's nothing else running. Actually, the battery cable will be better because whatever you have on right now is what will be running when that fan's running. Be interesting to see how long that battery's going to last. I've really been getting an e-bike.
0.18.
0.18 draws the same as that string of LED lights we have in the house. That's pretty funny.
It's got to be more than that.
No, 0.18?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That seems like not enough.
No, it's an electric fan.
Did you try it over the battery cable? Kim?
I did. I got a variety of answers, but 0.18 was a lot, so I took that one.
Yeah, it seems like it ought to be more than that.
It does. But it's a little bitty wire and a big clamp. Am I supposed to clamp the wire, or am I supposed to put the whole clamp around it?
Put the clamp around.
Like, do I put it
in
down
there.
here?
Yeah, put it in here. Put the battery cable in there and see what happens. Because whatever you... Oh, I cut myself on that thing last night, too.
Somewhere between 0.17 and 0.2.
So it varies around in there.
It jumps a little.
2/10 of an amp?
That doesn't seem enough.
A fan drawing 2/10 of an amp at 12 volts.
I mean, it's a little fan, but boy, it's sucking some air.
Yeah, it's sound. It's like, I know it draws more than that. Or I would think.
Really rocking and rolling there.
Well, it's got a fuse on it, right? A plug-in fuse?
Yeah.
Put like a 1 amp fuse in it. See if it blows. I would expect it to draw at least an amp, but maybe not. Oh, it says load on that fan may vary. That just doesn't seem like enough. Okay, what selections do we have here? That was on the 20 amp scale. Oh, Kim, I probably made a mistake. Stand by. Take my glasses off. Try to figure this out. No, this isn't gonna work. Probably need a different one for that. Because this has a little wavy thing, looks like AC. But you can only do pulsating DC with it. I don't understand that, because you put this on AC, it cancels itself out. So maybe it just expects one side of AC. It expects a sine wave? Or a half a sine wave? I don't know. Somebody on here will know. Definitely the number seems wrong. My wife's gone. So now both dogs are sitting here giving me 4 evil eyes. Better go. So I guess if they don't get attention from you, they go to her. But now she's not there. All right, Tim. Take care and rest, and hopefully your muscles will be better tomorrow. So have a good night. Let's see here. Does it spike if you start the fan while watching the meter? Oh, we'd have to do that somehow. Probably take 2 of us. Tesla, which is probably Tesla versus Edison. Yep. Yeah, this thing shows. It's really weird because you can't put this on a lamp cord, and because it's got AC going both directions. So you use this adapter so you can grab half of it. But with DC, so this is actually, when you grab half of it, it's actually pulsating DC, I would think. Or like half a sine wave. Like that top half or the bottom half. But when you put this on DC, maybe it doesn't do the same thing. Maybe it doesn't work the same way. Not sure. Dean, you're likely to know. You're a test kind of guy. But you were testing materials, right? Not electricity. I'm not sure what you did. You're a smart guy, though. RMS. Root mean square. Oh, so maybe it tests half RMS, half the sine wave RMS. So when I've got it on DC, it's not doing anything. Yeah, root mean square. So maybe it's, I don't know what it's doing. The brand name on this thing is Ant Probe. Made in Taiwan. Well, Kim, what else you gonna do tonight? Or if you got it?
I'm gonna drill a little hole. Why? You want to be done? I can.
No, I'm just wondering. It is 1:30 in the morning. I'm just wondering when.
Man, today goes fast, doesn't it?
That day goes fast when you're doing stuff.
We did get some stuff fixed with the lighting. That was
We
good.
started here at 10. We've been here for 3.5 hours.
Have we really?
Yeah.
Well, we've
We've-
been working.
We kept these people bored for 3.5 hours.
They've been here by their own free will. Thank you, by the way, for being here
Oh,
by
some
your
people
own free
have,
will.
some people have come in, some people have left.
I think we're going to do
Some
a
more
Friday
people came.
night. Are we going to do a Friday night?
We can do a Friday night.
All right.
It measures a positive. Okay, here we go. It measures a positive percentage rather than a negative and positive, which can't. Well, yeah, okay. I understand you can't put it over like a piece of lamp cord because that would cancel itself out. So it's measuring. You think it's RMS? RMS on half the sine wave. I took a nap in the middle. She slept through our live.
That's okay.
But that's okay as long as you were here. Then it,
That means that we are soothing. And hey, do you want to open some packages?
Oh, we got packages to
You
open.
guys want package openings, or should I save that for tomorrow?
What
can
is it? We
save it for
may
tomorrow.
need it. What is
Well,
it?
it was stuff for the cameras that we didn't use tonight, so
Okay.
not really anything.
So this can stay here. I don't need to take this to the house again. I did check with this thing on an LED light. We have this big string of LEDs above the sink in the kitchen. We leave it on because I don't think it draws a lot of power, but it leaves a little light in the house. So at least if you get up at night. So I took this down there and I wanted to see what it was, and it was drawing 0.19 amps. 0.19 amps. So what is that? That was like, I don't know. We got like what, 123 volts. Math time. Where's my thing here? There. So 0.19 times 123. So it's 23 watts. Could that thing get 23 watts? That's a pretty good string of lights. I guess that's possible. Well, I went down to the AC. The heat kind of tired me out here in the shop. Oh, move the AC to the important part of the house. That would be the shop. I don't know if you can do that. Sure. Dean Stevenson says, sure. Okay, so a string of LEDs, 23 watts. That thing's actually pretty bright. And there's a whole big long double row. It's 3 feet long. So what's that? A meter? About 1 meter? And it's 2 rows of LEDs. Yeah, that could be 23 watts, I suppose. I was actually hoping it'd be less than that. Yeah, that's what you're going, 23 watts. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I took this down there. I had a window air conditioner and I ran on the low setting in an apartment. I think I've told this before. And that's why I bought this, because the landlord was paying the electric bill. They were all separate, but that was the deal. He paid the electric bill, but he knew how much was in each apartment was using, and he kind of pitched me because I had an air conditioner on. Well, I bought this thing and plugged it in, and it was like, I think it was 325 watts. And it cycled on and off on the low setting. And all I wanted to do is just keep the humidity out of there. And he told me later, he goes, your apartment is the lowest. Your electric bill is the lowest of all the apartments. And he said, I really don't care if you run that. So that was kind of interesting to me. That air conditioner is only 300, I think it was 325 watts. I think it was something different than that, like 327 or 328, something like that. Kind of surprised me it was that low. Meter. Well, I'm telling you a meter because I don't mind using metrics. Here in the U.S. we use both. I'll use meters or yards, or I know some people really get annoyed with that. Well, we're Americans. We use imperial. I go, you don't even use imperial. You use SAE. You don't even know what you're talking about. Use imperial gallons? No, use U.S. gallons. It's just like, yeah. I'm actually kind of glad.
This is America. We don't use
America, America. But then every drink I pick up, food, all the food in the store except meat, all the food is metric. Like this is 500 milliliters. That's half a liter. And all the water, all the drinks, all the packages are in metric. The except meat. Meat is in pounds and quarter pounds and half pounds. That's kind of weird. I kind of wish they just fix that problem. And then the one that gets me, you guys, oh yeah, New Zealand, here we go. You sell airplanes to New Zealand, and we're doing the weight and balance on one. The guy's going to get in there. How much do you weigh? And he says something like, 16 stones. I'm like, what? I thought he was joking with me. Stones. Well, first of all, it's a measurement I hadn't heard before, and then the resolution's kind of coarse, I'm waiting to hear, something that the resolution's more like 200 pounds, and it's like 16 stones or 14 stones or something. What are you doing?
I am going to take us out. We did. You guys okay with that? We're going to wrap it up here in just a second now. But so it's another night. It's a Thursday night. I disassembled the electrical fuse, old style fuse panel, cleaned it out, put it back together, wired up the auxiliary electric fan for the radiator, and now everything seems to be... Oh, and I found the reason that the headlights and marker lights and stuff weren't working and dash lights weren't working is because the switch was not plugged in behind the dash, because I had the dash out earlier. So anyways, that's where we're at. What do we have to do next time?
Well, after we're finished with your video there, I want to do a couple of shorts. I don't have a short for the morning.
I mean on the Dart.
Oh, on the Dart?
Project.
Oh, we got to change the rear end oil.
Fluid in the rear end.
Fluid in the rear end.
Okay.
And we have that fluid.
Yes, we do.
So it's
on the shelf right there.
It's just a matter of doing it.
We have to put the lights in for the license plate lights.
The license plate light is not attached.
And there's no dome light, and I have no idea what to do to make it work. I don't even know where to...
Take a flashlight with you. All right, for Dean, we take a torch with us.
We need a torch.
And
That'll work. Yeah.
And then...
I'll just do that.
And then...
so we're real close.
What we really need to do is get some flight testing time on this.
Flight testing. You know what? We got invited. Our friend John invited us. There's a swap meet up in Clarksville on Saturday morning. You think we can try to do that?
Oh, I don't know. What kind of swap meet? Like everything or cars?
Cars. Yeah.
Where is it? Oh, you can tell me later.
Right up where the Hooters is. Right where
yeah. That's it's easy to get to there.
It's a big parking lot.
Hooters. We don't go to the Hooters, but we go to the parking lot.
Yeah, there's all kinds of...
I used to get these guys that I worked with. They have to go to Hooters to get burgers, So I go, yeah, okay, I'll go. And I got these girls dressed kind of cute, but the burgers were horrible. It's like, why do you guys go here?
Well, they go there to get wings. Yeah, to get wings.
To get the look at the girls. So the burgers were not very good. The burger was basically burned. It was extremely overdone, and I didn't really want to go there again.
Yeah, I'll pass on the food. All right, we're gonna end this video. Thank you for watching. We're gonna have more on the Dart real soon. I hope you enjoyed seeing our progress, and if you are late night around 10 p.m. Central Time, we have been doing a lot of lives from the shop, so stop in and say hello if you're seeing that, and thanks for watching.
That's Kim's video she's doing. She wasn't saying goodbye to all you. Okay, let's see here.
But I am saying goodbye to all of them.
Are you?
If we have to do shorts,
yeah. We could do a short online or on here, or we could just do it. Let's see here.
Okay. Do you have a short?
I want to read what he said about stones. It's like he goes 16 stones, fat bastard, bar steward. Oh, yeah. I don't remember. It was 16. It might have been 14 stones or something. It was some measurement I'd never heard before. I thought he was joking with me, and he wasn't joking with me. And then when I figured out he wasn't, I thought that's way too coarse of a measurement. You know, we're used to, you know, we're moving weight and balance on an airplane around, and you're giving me like 14 units. Big guy, you know. Oh God, crazy. But that's what they do. Is that only in New Zealand, or do they do that in Australia? I bet you they use kilograms. Get kilos. Look at this. 16 stones times 14 equals pounds. Then divide by 2 point. Yeah, I always just 2.2, but okay, 2.2046 to get kilos. Kiwis, you're dumb fuckery. Where did that ever come from? It's like 14 stones or whatever he said. I was dumbfounded.
I had to stand on my head underneath that
Okay, so we got
dash.
to do at least one short.
Okay, what do you want to do it about?
Well, I've got stuff.
Up on top of this wheelie cart, maybe?
Yeah, wherever it went,
It's right behind
you
you.
moved it.
Well, I had to move.
Okay,
it.
well, I looked over here. It wasn't over there. Okay, I can do I did the screwdrivers. That's the stuff I did already.
Check up on top. There was some things up on top. I don't know. You guys.
Oh, safety wire.
Guys, we're not gonna record us recording shorts. You're gonna have to watch, and then they'll be on. Because I want to start winding stuff down. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for everyone who commented or posted little images of fire extinguishers and stuff. Oh yeah, thank you, Dean, for the reminder. I'm gonna take the posts off there so nothing burns overnight.
What is this?
The car in the back is my 66 Dodge Dart. We're working on it, Andre. We have been working on it all night.
Oh,
We'll be
Andre
back
just
tomorrow
got
to work
here.
on it more. And you can watch some of our other streams if you want to see some stuff about it. And I've got a video I'm gonna be posting on my channel, which is Kim Fixes Things,
Wait a
in
minute, did you?
a couple days.
Andre's just got here.
I just said hello, welcome to the
Oh,
stream.
okay,
Andre.
okay. Well, I had my back and I was doing, and you explained what the car was.
Yes, we're working on it for an event.
It's a 66 Dart.
On the 19th, so we have to get it ready. We were doing electrical work on it, and we've already done engine carburetor work, and we put a different rear end in it, and been through the brakes, and I have driven it. I drove it 40 miles to get tires the other day, so it's getting there, but it still needs a little bit of sorting. So, but we need to go. We need to get off of this live stream. We'll be back tomorrow night, and we thank everyone for being